What is up, everybody, and welcome back to your favorite, the best wrestling podcast on Wednesday nights with your host, Chuck Winchester, with your host, Yvonne D. Board, and with your still not defending yet, reigning
Canada
RSH heavyweight champion
For
of the
now.
world, Josh D. Board. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How's your week going? Slow?
Jesus Christ. Slow.
I'm with you, bro. Today's been tiring.
Dude, I'm exhausted. I just want to go home, take a shower, do nothing, and watch basketball.
It's a good
I'm still going through my free bets, and I have $10 on like 4 different games tonight. So
Nice.
it gives me a reason to give a shit.
There you go. I got 50 free bets I'm going to be blowing on the Super Bowl this Sunday.
That's right. Go for all those prop bets.
And then I'm out.
Then you're done.
So, I mean, not to plug anything this quick, but if you do need to learn about prop bets and stuff, Ball Talk starts Saturday at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, you got to push the shit right now because people generally, especially on audio, they listen to the first
I'll
half.
say it now and later. So
there you go.
Saturday, 4 p.m. It's not going to be an every Saturday event. We'll let you know our official schedule Saturday. But debut episode Saturday at 4. Super Bowl talk, obviously. It's Sunday. So it's mostly going to be Super Bowl. We'll touch on Lamar's contract. Aaron Rodgers being a crybaby bitch again.
Yeah.
And the Saints apparently have their new quarterback. Derek Carr looks like he's going to New Orleans.
I like it.
So we'll touch on what that means for them.
Thank
And we'll
you,
explain
God.
to you how a team that has negative $82 million in cap space inherits a $50 million contract. We'll break that down for you because
I'd like to know myself.
logically it doesn't make any sense.
It
but
does
whatever.
not.
Math.
Yeah, the Saints are negative $82 million
They
over the
are.
cap.
They are.
And they just brought in a guy that's probably going to cost them $40 million over.
So that was like 98 million or whatever the math that is.
Yeah, so,
100
how do
million.
you-
help
so
us.
we'll explain all that shit. But that's football. That's then. But yeah,
WWE is now.
Is now,
skip ahead
exactly.
1 hour, 20 minutes, and I'll be doing the same thing.
Hell
We got to
yeah.
do it at the beginning and the end.
We
Yeah,
have
so I'm excited for that. Starting another fucking podcast.
that'll be
Another
fun.
one.
When does that show air?
Saturday at 4.
4 p.m.
Look,
Eastern Standard
Look,
Time.
RSH just went Ball Talk. Boom.
We just
Oh
went-
shit!
we just went ball talk.
Just look at that. Bam.
There's that fancy logo that's kind of looks like the Patriots a little
I
bit.
know New England colors.
It's America.
American
It's
colors.
America.
That's all-
America's
that's all
ball
it is.
talk. Is that what you're gonna say? America's
I
ball
like it,
talk.
That's
like
why
it.
New England's America's team.
Well, that's gonna be a hell of a
Anyway.
show. Can't wait to watch about the Super
Dude,
Bowl.
that'll be fun.
It
So
will
my
be.
buddy Chase is we get into it. And like we get into it, we don't like beef off air.
Sure.
We get into it, I don't talk to him for a few days. So like
I like it.
We
I'm
know how
like,
you are
fuck,
about
we got
football.
into it about something the other day, and I didn't talk to him for like till darkly.
So what they thought about us last week during the Bengals talk. They were probably like, "Fuck, they're gonna fucking fight in the
Yeah,
parking lot."
I got asked like, so are you done with RSH now? I was like, what are you talking about? They're like, dude, you went Liv Morgan, really? You took? He's like, how did you go? You went after the Bengals? Like, I was like, dude, I didn't mean to. Like, I don't know. I've been snapping at Bengals fans the last couple days.
Yeah, I
It's
get
hard
it.
not to.
I think it's my natural reaction. I got to stop. It's over. Like
It's over.
the Bengals game's way like 2 weeks ago. Like,
Unfortunately, it's over.
Nuvo,
It is what it
I
is.
got to quit snapping.
It sounds like Joe Burrow potentially might get a house in Bellbrook, though, so that's exciting.
He was hanging out with the whole 49ers team the other day. I found that weird.
Oh,
He was partying in
that's interesting.
with like all their good players.
That's interesting.
So everybody's like, "Oh my God, is Joe Burrow good tonight?" It's like, no, dude.
Maybe he's
like,
gonna bring their good players to the Bengals.
Yeah, reverse.
Maybe.
But hell yeah! So hell yeah! Can't wait to listen to that football ball talk.
Absolutely.
And but we do have a hell of a show to talk about this evening. We
Yeah.
had NXT. I actually watched.
Holy,
guys.
yeah!
Chuck
Breaking
watched-
news.
Chuck watched
Chuck
it.
watched the NXT
Save this
pay-per-view, and I
episode.
did
Chuck
not.
Watched it.
Start to finish.
He
I
did.
turned it on right when that warning of "Don't steal this shit" came on, and I watched it until the very end. So yeah, I don't remember a lot of it, but I watched it.
Is
It was
there any
good.
people that stood out to you? Since you're kind of blind eyeing. I mean, you're aware of
Right.
who they are.
I think the very first match was the best match.
Is that the New Day?
No, that match actually wasn't that thrilled with.
I wasn't either.
Nobody was happy Gallus went over.
I was not
I haven't
happy.
been
I
either.
think Gallus
Chase-
was big.
Andre
Two
Chase
fucking
and them
UK
should've
guys
went
that
over.
actually won.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was
But
very
I thought
upset.
Andre Chase got
Me
put in
too.
to win. But
Me
whatever.
Me too. I was disappointed.
I wanted Chase to win,
I did.
but I don't remember who the first match was, who those guys were. To be honest with you guys, I remember thinking that match was fucking awesome, and then after that, it kind of was hit or miss.
I forget what the first match
I
was.
slacked and I didn't even fucking see it.
Like I don't
What
remember.
pay-per-view was it?
I was drinking a little bit. Vengeance Day.
Vengeance Day.
But
Oh, yeah, that's right. Their first fucking traveling.
Then they have it. What?
I love how they use the old paper.
I know. They had to say, I love the stage. The stage
dude,
was phenomenal.
Everybody on Twitter was like, hey, that stage looks better than the fucking main roster.
It
one.
does.
Like,
I thought the same thing.
They look
like,
really good.
why don't they use that on the main roster?
Because NXT is still doing like old school stages where it's not just a big ass screen. It's like they actually have physical barriers on this stage that looks like something that you can physically touch. It's not just a computer screen.
Oh, what was it? Dijak?
Sounds right. Yeah.
Wesley
I was
Dijak,
upset he
which
lost.
was T-Bar.
Yep.
So Twitter.
Yep.
Ooh, I was
So
upset.
you see, he broke his finger during the
I
match.
did. He put,
So
yeah.
So on Twitter he put this and he said "fuck off" to the T-bar handle, and the T-bar handle's now gone, and now he's Dijak WWE.
Wow.
Hell
So
yeah.
he's like,
Dijak.
he said, "Burn in hell, T-bar, and never come back."
Good.
We all agree with you.
I was upset he lost. I thought
Yeah.
he should have won.
It was a hell of a match. Hell of a
Yeah,
match.
Carmelo, I heard of Carmelo Hayes and Apollo was pretty solid.
It was.
It
Carmelo's like the next big. He's going to be the champion because he
Sure.
came out in a Breakers match, and
You look good.
That's
He's the next one.
that's WrestleMania weekend. It's going to be Saturday at noon
And their next pay-per-view.
before night one. That would be traveling for that as well. It's a
Yep.
big pay-per-view.
Big
Stand
one.
and Deliver. It's
Stand and Deliver, yep.
their biggest
It's
show of the
huge.
year.
Sure. Their
Okay.
mania.
So you have Carmelo Hayes versus Braun Breaker. It
Breaker.
looks like. I don't know what they're doing with Grayson Waller, but
I don't
they're
know.
teasing hard a Shawn Michaels match.
So bad.
I'd be okay with it.
So like
He's
he's
calling
going
shots.
after Shawn
For
Michaels.
some reason, he
Yeah,
is.
man.
Like earlier, he posted a picture with his wife or something, or photoshopped himself. Like
He
he's
did.
going at him.
Yeah,
He's having the
bad.
time of his life. I bet you HBK was probably his favorite growing up.
Dude, yeah,
He's
it's
just
like,
Better, yeah.
now I get to fuck with him. Like,
Maybe.
yeah.
Maybe.
Gallus won the tag team championship.
Yeah.
Both tag team, Kiana James and Fallon Henley.
I was very.
won.
I was
So the
interested.
funny is, so the one chick is in a group. Two country guys, right? So like
Yep.
that's their little
Brooks
stable.
and the other guy. I
But
can't think
the
of his
one
name.
dude had a crush on that girl, but she's a bitch to the other girl, and she's a heel or whatever. And he's like, she's like, don't talk to her. And he still kept buying her flowers.
I just want to say, actually, I like that. And I remember talking to another guy, John Cruzy, about it. And I thought it was neat for that tag team women's match.
Yeah, because they weren't supposed, but like they
They weren't
just
supposed
united
to.
because these two,
Right.
I
And,
but
like
they
it.
hate each other.
and they had, for like the first time ever, how many, over the years, we've seen how many men come out with women at their side.
Right.
This is one of the first times I remember that the female wrestler had the men at their side
Yep.
just because they're that with them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It was kind of a reversed role, which I get. It was 2023, but it worked. It was really fun. It made
Really
sense. Like I enjoyed it. Like it felt organic. Like they didn't just do it because of
Wesley
the
was
Me Too.
trending at one point, so
Nice.
apparently that first match was really fun.
Yeah, I loved it. The match was
It
phenomenal.
was very
And
good.
that might be why the rest of the matches didn't feel all that
See,
special
what's
to me.
funny is when so that was MGK, right? So or MSK. MSK. MGK is the fucking rapper.
I would
MSK,
say the same thing.
but his buddy got in trouble. It was like the speak out thing.
Oh,
Gotcha.
yeah.
So
he
they
got
fired
in
his
trouble.
tag
I
team
remember
partner because some
Ah,
shit came out
that
of him.
happens.
So they thought he was just going to fall through the fucking cracks because like
They
they
did.
came from TNA
Mhm.
together.
Gotcha.
They actually left Trey Miguel, who was like the main guy of that group, in. He didn't want to come to WWE. He wanted to stay in TNA because his fucking girlfriend works there. So
Makes sense.
they brought that gimmick. Then he got fired, and they thought Wesley would just fucking be future endeavored. Now he's the North American title
Hell
champion.
yeah.
He didn't
And I
do
did not
nothing.
think he beat Dijakovic either.
I didn't either.
Because Dijak's been booked as a monster. since
He
came
is still a
back.
monster.
It was a great match, dude. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
He looks like
The
a
broken
beast.
finger thing was crazy. Then Bray tweeted at him and he said, I feel you, brother, because Bray broke his finger at the Rumble.
Okay.
So his
Oh,
finger was
okay.
fucked up too because he commented back and said, I feel
Ah.
you, bro. So Bray's like, yeah.
Yeah, dude, I get it. Dude, I remember I went to
So
Florida.
Bray's not allowed to wrestle for about 2 weeks, I think.
I went to Florida back in 2016, and I broke my finger the very first day playing football in the pool. Like I just hit it wrong,
Yeah.
and
Gosh.
and it was my first day in Florida. I drank the entire time. I didn't go to the fucking urgent care. So by the time you can ask Danae will test this. By the time I got home, this finger was this finger. By the time I got home, it was blue and it was
Jeez.
like this. I couldn't
Dang.
lift it. We went to Walmart in Miamisburg. We went to a Walmart and bought a splint, and then that fixed it. I didn't go to the hospital at all. But like, dude, when it's broken, like that's the first time I ever broke a finger. And I'll never forget. By the time I got home, it was just I couldn't move it. It's like, look at this. But I was drunk the entire
I
time.
haven't broke my finger.
I haven't either.
I fell down the steps and broke my toe on
No, you
Christmas one year.
You did.
That hurts too.
I fell down all of them.
He fell down
And
the whole
then,
steps.
and then there's a rail.
He
okay.
fell. He did.
There's a rail. So like my foot, like I tried to stop, so I grabbed, like I used my other foot to grab the rail. I swung around and hit the wall and just fell onto the ground. Like, yes, I was much lighter back then, but
That was
like I
funny.
literally, Yvonne's just watching me. I hit the
I
wall
was
and my
leaving.
head's
I was
like, it's
crying.
a fucking wall, and I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Like my toe's bleeding. It's already. Dude,
I was crying.
it was
laughing.
instantly purple.
It was.
That's
purple.
rough.
Instantly purple. Like
That's
It was
rough.
it was like
hilarious.
purple. Like I think it might have turned purple before it even stubbed.
It
It's
was
like, oh,
hilarious.
we know it's
I
coming.
was crying.
Oh, dude,
laughing.
I'm sitting there crying.
I was
It hurt
crying
so bad,
laughing
and I
at
wept for a
you.
month.
Oh, that's so funny.
I couldn't help to
Fucked
quit
up
laughing.
fingers and fucked up toes are very underrated injuries.
Dude, I
because
mean, they
those
fuck you
linger.
up. And you can't really, the doctor ain't gonna fix them. All they're gonna do is put a splint on.
Splint, yeah.
So
So it's just,
Fuck
it
the
is what it is.
doctor.
Might as
Nobody
well,
needs a
might as well
doctor.
do it
I
yourself.
gotta go to the
I told you,
doctor.
I was like, I puked most of the weekend. She's like, what's wrong with you? I was like, I don't know.
Well, you know
I
what?
go to the doctor.
I didn't think about it, but I got sick that trip too because that was the first day, like the third day I was sick, and I actually had to lay in bed for like 6 hours while they all went and did stuff. It might have been part of that, I guess.
Good, man. We can do it ourselves. We got
Interesting.
doctors.
That was also the last week I drank Bud Light, so
Wow.
there's that too. Maybe Bud Light breaking your finger is a thing.
Maybe. Sounds like it.
Just Bray Wyatt drink Bud Light.
Question mark.
Anyway, that was a great match,
Who knows?
and it really was. And like, and I was,
I think most people were pretty happy with the event and it's
I
all together.
was.
I did not share on Twitter.
no, it was
but,
good.
I do.
I shared it
yeah,
on Twitter.
I tried to.
I forgot. I honestly forgot about it. Then I saw it online. Then I was like, I should. Then I didn't. It's like,
What are you gonna do?
It was good.
yeah. God damn.
Be like that first match. Honestly, might be why the rest of the matches I were like, yeah, it's all right because it was just so good. The tag match, I really was rooting for Chase.
I
You.
did too.
It was okay, but I've seen a lot of New Day matches.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I
mean, we know why they're there.
Right. The Waller match was good. I really liked that tag team women's match. I thought that was better than
I did too.
expected.
I was happy for them to win.
I like the gimmicks that they were
Mhm.
repping. And yeah, again, I was drinking the entire time. So I don't remember a lot offhand. But
Here we go.
It was good.
And at WWE 2K23 added. This game's gonna be.
I'll buy that game.
I pre-ordered it.
I already decided.
Like it's gonna be great. They added War Games.
Nice. I saw that.
Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez, Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker, Grayson Waller, and Nikita Lyons are now playable characters
That's
from
awesome.
NXT.
I was at Walmart the other day and saw 2K22 for $20. I'm like, I'll wait for
Well, I know that you're gonna want to buy it because if you pre-order it now, you get Bad Bunny's playable character for free.
I'm not pre-ordering it on purpose. I don't want to see that on my game.
No rabbits.
Wait until you're scrolling through and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna be John Cena, and then you go through the L's like, oh god damn it.
Don't tell me he's going to be.
Why is
in the
Logan Paul
game.
have a better
Ugh.
overall than AJ Styles?
God.
Dude, and I won't even. I'll just get pissed off the entire time I see it.
Stop.
I
I'll
know.
never play him as a
I know.
character.
It's disgusting.
If I play any kind of storyline and he's on it, I'll immediately turn it off.
It's disgusting.
I refuse to acknowledge.
I acknowledge that he's away, and I love it.
Well, Tyler Peter thinks we are all great. No, Tyler Peters, we appreciate that, and we think you are great,
You're
sir.
great, buddy.
One of Wrestle Buddy's greatest writers, one of the best
He is.
Nashville announcers down there at. I don't remember the name. Fuck.
I forget
But one
too.
of the greatest announcers down there. If you go to any Nashville wrestling show, you will see Tyler Peters repping the announcers, and he's a great catch. So thank you so much for watching, Tyler.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you. But yeah, that game, I think it's gonna be fun. Once I saw War Games was added, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it.
That'd be fun.
The last wrestling game I have.
Last
is-
year's game was good,
I heard that. Looked good.
Mhm.
but I'm with you. I saw it. I was like, why buy that when I can just wait?
Yeah,
Well,
$20
so
bucks.
this way,
I got Madden. I got NBA, so I'll be all right.
Dude, I just bought the newest Call of. Not to get off topic, but I just bought the latest Call of Duty, and it fucking sucks.
My buddy just bought. He took a week off work. The one I'm doing ball talk with. He took a week off work to play Hogwarts.
Oh, the new one.
Yeah,
We're buying that because Danae wants to play.
apparently
it.
it's epic.
It looks like it.
So he took like legit days off of work.
It comes out Friday.
Oh,
dude.
for God's
He's
sakes.
got the early version already. He's been
That's
playing
cool.
it since Monday.
That's cool. I know Danae's really excited about it because
I've heard really good shit about it.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest Harry. I like
You
the
used
books.
to.
I like the
I
books
remember
more than the
that.
movies.
I
I never
remember
got
that.
into the movies. I don't
I
know
don't know
why.
how you read the book.
I just never did.
You actually read the books.
I read all 7.
Josh did.
I mean, I don't know how many there is
He's
now.
He's
I
I
out
read
of his
7.
mind.
I read
He
7
did.
of them.
That's impressive. I never have. Danae loves it.
I had to read the first 4
Love it
to
for
get
school.
out of elementary school.
Ah, gotcha.
Like
Oh,
they're
that's
like
what
we
I
had to do
remember.
reading 30 minutes a night. So there's like I used to read those old WWE magazines. Remember those?
I do
came out
remember
every
those.
month?
I used to
My
go to
mom would
Kmart
always
and
get
read
them for $5. My mom used to
Yep.
she'd go to the store, she'd buy her soap opera little book with all her spoilers in it, and she'd buy my WWE magazine.
I remember that.
Hell yeah.
So like that's all I used to read. They're like, those don't count. Read
Well,
Harry
shit.
Potter, bitch. And I was like, okay. I mean, Chamber of Secrets is my favorite book. It's my favorite. It's the only movie I can make it through.
Sure.
So like,
I did.
but yeah,
I
I'm
did.
sure the game's amazing. They had those old games that they used to make for Harry Potter. Those were fun.
Danae still plays them. Yeah, she plays them
Like
all.
PS2 and shit.
Not
I bought
those,
Tony
yeah.
Hawk.
Oh, that's cool.
I used to
And
like
it's
Tony.
amazing
I
on
like
5.
Tony Hawk.
She plays Harry Potter Lego on the Switch.
Okay.
Oh,
and she's really excited for Legacy. And
Well, they released Tony Hawk 1 and 2, so it's all 3 games in
game's
one,
fun.
and it's $19.99. That's for the PS5.
oh yeah, PS5.
Yeah, so I was like,
I'm a little jealous.
fuck. I have to buy that. So then you put it in, and it's that first fucking Tony Hawk song.
Like, hell
it's
yeah.
the same soundtrack, and I was like, dude, Tony Hawk was the first video game I ever played
Oh,
in
really?
my life. It was
Damn.
at Michael Donahue's house.
Mhm.
Dude lived on the corner of
I
our
remember it.
street. I
Damn.
went up there. I played Tony Hawk
I remember
1.
that.
It was a blue cartridge that went in an Xbox. It was the X, and I fucking hate the Xbox.
Hold
But
on.
it is the
hold on.
first system I ever
The
played.
the Xbox was your first gaming system
Yeah,
ever.
that I played.
I feel old as
I've
fuck.
never
I think it was
owned an
mine,
Xbox,
too.
but that was
But
the first
ever
one I
played.
played.
I
yes.
got you.
I'm a Sony guy. I'm a PlayStation guy, I should say.
My-
Switch is cool.
I feel old. The very first game I ever played was fucking Mario on the Nintendo in like 1990 fucking
The
3.
first
I mean,
game,
I break that out every now and then. The Super Nintendo.
I remember that
I still
same.
got mine.
My cousins and my aunt gave my dad their old system because they were older than me, and I remember playing Mario. And I had to wait for Wheel of Fortune to be over so I could play it because my mom would watch the Wheel of Fortune, and then when that was over, I could plug it into the TV. And now I feel old. I remember the Xbox came out. I was older, but I was also a Sony guy. I had the PS2. I never had an Xbox either.
Mine first game was Grand Theft Auto with Megan.
PS3?
That's Xbox. Yep, that's why I started playing.
PS3? Which one was
She
it?
had the Xbox.
Same,
She had Xbox.
same guy that I play. Like it was her sister.
His
Like,
sister.
she was friends with her sister.
That's cool.
And
He
he
was
was an
friends with his
Xbox
brother.
guy. So yeah.
I remember. I feel like now I can't say for sure, but I feel like Grand Theft Auto 3 was the first PS2 game.
I'm
I've ever
still
played.
playing
I
it now.
feel like-
I love
I
it.
feel like we're gonna have to have Bebe on for that. I think we need to do top 5 wrestling video games.
There we
Oh,
go.
I love it, dude.
We
Oh,
love
have
it.
never done.
We've
that
never
before.
done that.
from WWF No Mercy on the N64 through WWE 13. I had them all. After 13, I stopped buying
Oh, dude,
them.
I used to too. I had them
But-
lined up.
Yeah.
You did. You had a lot.
Raj tweeted the other day and he said, "What comes out first, WWE 2K27 or AEW Fight of the Fallen?" Because they pushed it back again.
Okay, wow.
Remember TNA's video game?
Yeah, yeah.
I never played it, but
Oh yeah, I see it at the flea market for $2.
$2.
It's been
we
there
know
for
what's,
years.
We know what's wrong.
That
with
guy
it.
knows that game ain't selling, but it's
every
still there.
every Christmas I get the newest wrestling game when I was
There you
younger. Good shit, man. Smackdown, Know Your Role, Shut Your Mouth,
Oh, that was fun.
and then
I remember
obviously
that
the Raw
one.
versus
Josh and I always
SmackDown
played
games.
that one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so transitioning to the wrestling world.
We really get off topic sometimes, don't we?
It is what it is. That's what happens when you have your own podcast.
That's fair.
Who's
do what
going
we
to
want.
stop us?
Right.
But so Friday, Sammy beat the fuck out of Roman. Let's just be honest. At first,
Yeah,
At
he
first.
did.
At
He-
first.
Until the back
I
end.
mean, we knew,
But
like,
Roman left because of Sami.
that pop.
He escaped.
Yeah.
Roman had to escape Sami Zayn. It
He
did
did.
pop.
That
That
pop.
was
That
hard.
pop. Oh
we,
my
we
god.
don't see that side of Roman often at
Um,
all.
so-
we really don't.
Yes, this is happening in Montreal.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
I'm
is.
excited for it. Yeah, I'm
Me.
aware that Sammy's probably not winning,
He's not.
and yes,
Right.
I don't care.
I don't
because
care. It's going to be.
It's cinema. That's exactly what it is.
Exactly.
That's what Michael Cole said, that they should win an Emmy. And at first, I was like,
Yes.
Michael Cole's a fucking idiot. Now, it's actually, see, that's my people in general need to stop, me included. Like when I heard, what the fuck was it? Oh, Dijak. I was like, that's a stupid fucking name.
I
He's
know.
gonna be a fucking. Then after a month, I was like, oh, it's gonna work. It's like I snap decision too much. Like
Everybody does. That's human nature.
That's
But,
the way you
like,
do it.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be
I mean, they
good.
built a hell of a fucking card in 2 weeks.
They
It was
did.
just the Rumble.
It was just the Rumble.
just the last week in the
And-
fucking.
Like
So I messaged him on our group chat earlier, and I was like, next week's Chambers picks.
Already.
Like,
Already, they're not hesitating.
But seriously, with this Roman and Sammy feud, I mean, I really wish it wasn't WrestleMania season so Sammy could get the
I
win
agree.
over Roman.
I do. Too.
I hope they can prolong this to where maybe he can have his moment at SummerSlam.
I do.
I mean, Michael's not wrong. Like, how long? Bloodline's been around for a few
This
years
has
now,
been a
Mhm.
dude.
and this is the first feud where it's like, holy shit.
Dude, I was on Reels the other day because I watch Reels and shit on RSH's Facebook. 'Cause it's all wrestling shit because it's synced all the wrestling reels since our page is wrestling.
Sure.
And I was just watching clips of like when Jay ripped the shirt off Sammy and gave him down, and he started crying, and
Mhm.
Roman's all happy, and they played some music with it. And I was like, dude, when WWE builds this whole story and they play it 1,000 times before the pay-per-view, I'm probably going to cry at least one time.
Sure.
Me
Because
too.
this has been a year with Sam. The whole storyline's been like 3
Sammy.
years.
With Sammy.
Sammy's been
Sammy
involved
is
for
what
about
matters.
6 to
Half
8
the
months
year,
now.
Yeah, he did.
And like you
That's where it
said,
started to matter.
dude,
It did,
it,
yep.
it rejuvenated the
It did.
storyline. It's
It
like
did.
with
It
Judgment
did.
Day. Vince was going to kill it,
He
whether
was.
he wanted to or not. He was killing it.
Sure.
And then Triple H, boom, breath of fresh air. Judgment Day is over as fuck. And I think Priest is a sneaky. As of right now, I'm picking Priest to win that match.
I do too. I like
He's in
Priest.
the chamber for the 6. I don't think Theory makes it out. I think this is a way of getting it off of him without him having to. It's like he can get. Do you remember? You might remember the fucking year. Do you remember the chamber match where the champion came in first? Or sorry, the champion came in and everybody hit their finisher on him, and they were the first one. I think it was Cena.
I think
It was the first
Cena.
one
I do remember
eliminated.
that. Yeah.
So what if that happens? Theory comes out. I'm last, bitches. Fuck you.
And then they
Bam!
take him out.
Bronson Reed fucking moonsaults on his ass. This dude hits his finisher. Blah, blah. It's like, oh shit.
Yep.
He takes 6 finishers and loses. Like, oh shit, he lost the belt.
Maybe.
Kind of like Nia Jax in fucking the Royal Rumble this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we
Yeah.
knew she was going to botch something.
I
I
think
just
it
didn't know it
was
would be
Cena.
her entrance. Like,
I think that was Cena.
Always fun.
I
It
think,
might
I
have
think
been.
it was Cena.
It might have
I
been.
do because I think Cena, yeah. But
Don't be surprised at all.
I mean, he don't.
and then the women's match, which I think Asuka or Raquel right now.
Yeah, me too. I'm
Asuka's new
conflicted with
character
them
freaks
too.
me out, which I guess is the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the point.
So
She
I
wore a
think-
suit.
What do you-
Yeah. I think Asuka and Bianca, and
Raquel or Asuka?
I just don't know what Becky and
I know.
Bailey are going to do
I know that's the only thing.
out of the title picture.
They finally had their Hell in a Cell match.
Finally.
They had their cage match.
Oh, sorry, Matt. Cage match.
They
That's
had
what I
it
meant.
on-
Not Hell in a Cell. Cage. They finally had their cage
I
match.
know.
I was very
I
excited.
just like Mania wise, like
Yeah.
both title pictures are clouded. The only talk of adding a third person has been Liv.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely
So-
going to be Charlotte versus
Ronda and Shayna versus Damage Control for the women's tag
Yeah.
titles apparently is where they're going,
Oh,
which it's
gross.
cool. It keeps
Sure.
Ronda away.
Yeah.
That'll
All
get
day.
more eyes on the women's
all,
division.
all day,
whatever.
all day.
I'm cool with that. That's a decent mid card thing for her to do.
Agree. All day.
It gets her out of the title picture.
Absolutely.
Thank God. Shouldn't even be
And
anything.
it probably will elevate the women's tag
Right,
titles.
It will.
Her first run when she first got there was really good. This second run has been trash since she came back.
I would say it was as good as you could expect.
Yeah, like her first
Right.
year was really good. This
And then-
ever since then,
And then she
Been
did, and then she
terrible.
forgot to realize that it's still not real fighting, and people are going to
Yeah.
boo you no matter what. And she gets all pissy about that.
Be a woman and take it. Real women take it. Really. Like, you're gonna cry because they boo you.
Oh, real quick, did you guys know she had a baby?
She had a baby.
sorry.
Tell
I'm an
her
asshole.
and her husband
I
tell
love-
everybody because they forget.
somebody on Twitter said, "Did you guys know Omos is only 17 world championships away from breaking John Cena's record?" I was
I
like,
mean, what's 17? That's that's
Bebe says, well within his reach.
that's pretty funny.
I'm gonna reach out to him and see if he wants to come on. He was on our Royal Rumble prediction show. I don't know if I should wait to have because I want to do those top 5 games. So I have to have him on for that too. I know he's a huge gamer.
Dude,
That's
I
gonna
love
be
it.
our next top 5. So
There
next
we
week
go.
we'll do chamber picks.
Dude, do
Week
you have,
after
do
we'll
you
do
still have the
Fallout.
games?
Yeah,
Because
I think
because
so.
I have them too, and I still have
you
them.
have to look because you have some older shit in the basement.
We can like bring him and
Oh,
like
I think I
show
do,
our
too.
top 5. Like we could like this is my number 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Ours in the, mine's in the
We got to
somewhere.
plan that one.
Yep.
I might need to purchase a couple older games.
The
It's
only
like
one-
I'll go online and
Yeah.
I'll buy the PS2 version just because I don't have those anymore. I
I'll
don't
have to
think.
see.
Well, I have them all, so I can the ones
Oh,
that you
you
don't
got
have, I
them?
guess like you just like
Okay.
look. Yeah. The
That'll
only-
be fun. So we'll do that in 3 weeks. So next week's Elimination Chamber picks.
I'll
We'll
look-
get
I think we'll have
Bebe.
some.
If I can get Bebe, I'll try Del Rio. But Bebe's normally our pick guy. And then the week after is the Fallout, so that'll be covered. And the week after we have nothing, so we'll do that 3 weeks from today.
Hell yeah! No, I should have them all through
The 29th,
13 is when I
last
stopped
week
buying
of the month, or I guess it'll be March 1st, right? There ain't 29. I forgot February is only 28 days.
Mhm.
So yeah, March 1st we'll do that.
I like
Write it down, all of you people watching.
it. I dig it. I dig it.
But all right, so Raw. What else happened on SmackDown, Yvonne? What happened with Charlotte?
Nothing. She
Her-
thinks she's a
She had a match with
Sonya.
Sonya,
Sonya again. Yep.
and Sonya lost.
She lost again.
I mean, I guess we all.
Yep.
That
I, mean,
happened.
I think
She
that's
did.
what we thought. would
That's
happen.
it.
I like Sonya. I hope they figure something out with her because I really do think. I remember a few years ago when Becky had to leave because she had a baby. I remember saying Sonya could fill that spot,
Yeah,
She could.
yeah.
and I still think that. I think she
still
could.
do
Well, at
too.
least she's getting on screen. They just
Yep.
haven't found her niche.
Get her
yet.
away from that management stuff. She's good at it, but she needs to be in the ring.
Yeah.
I think she's talented.
She is talented.
She's missing something as
She
of
is.
right
She
now,
is.
but I mean, she's still feuding with the top dogs, so that's good.
Yeah, she is.
I think she could be a top dog. I don't think her whininess get rid of the whininess.
Yeah.
and I think there could be something there. Make her more like badass, like Becky and Charlotte. Which I know obviously not everybody can have the same gimmick, so
she fits
I
it,
get
though.
that too.
She fits it well.
I think so.
Then Raw. All right, the Cody Rhodes promo with Payman.
Seriously though.
I was
like,
tearing up.
What did you guys?
I was
What did you
tearing
guys
up.
think?
Now, before I watched it on Tuesday, and I don't really follow wrestling on the internet that much these days because I don't know how to use Twitter for the most part. I still get there every once in a while, but
So got the old.
I know that this segment blew up on the internet, and I saw that after I had watched it on Tuesday. So when I watched it on Tuesday, I wasn't expecting it, and so as I was watching it, I was like, I kind of stopped working a little bit because I watch wrestling while I work, so I get paid to watch wrestling these days.
Nice.
With my work not knowing about it, but I'm still working. But anyway, so like as I was watching it, I was like kind of because usually I just kind of half listen, Yeah. And then that's Cody started to talk. I'm like, this is actually fucking good. So I kind of started paying attention more to him talking and got the emotions. And then I feel like when Paul Heyman came out, he started talking and they talked to each other. And when Paul got like emotional, I feel like that was real.
It was.
I
mean, everything was so like
that story.
Yeah,
it's real.
Like that is real, and that's
there,
why everything they're doing right now is working.
Like when you see real emotions in the ring,
like, look at the wrestlers are doing their own shit now. Chelsea Green, that's probably how she is.
That's
why the character works.
She's really good at it.
She is good.
No offense, but like, how else do you end up with Matt Cardona as your husband? Like,
I agree.
It takes a special kind of fucking dude to deal with that all the time.
I feel like he's like that too. He'll go to a restaurant.
I agree.
Where's your waitress?
No, his issue, I guess, is she'll like go out for a while. He'll come back. She'll come back. He'll spend like $8,000 in action figures. She's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, so like that's what he says he gets in trouble for.
Yeah,
they made a video, so I don't know, but I was watching Reels one night, and this dude he's feuding with over the internet championship. It's still a thing.
Wow,
it's in TNA. So it's an actual title now.
That's embarrassing.
But,
embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing. It means he created something. That's cool.
But they showed a video making fun of him and Kurt Hawkins like possibly being together. It was hilarious, dude. The dude that put it together was great.
They're all buddies.
It was funny.
Yeah,
that is cool.
They both blocked me on Twitter, but they're let's be honest. FTR versus Hawkins and Ryder was a joke of a WrestleMania pre-show match, but whatever.
But then what was really cool about this whole segment was how there's so much realism in it. There's so much, storytelling that is real storytelling. The emotions were real, the tears were real, but they end it in such a perfect way. And my favorite quote, I was actually thinking about this when I was brushing my teeth this morning, kind of like Brock Lesnar thinking about Bobby Lashley.
No.
While I was brushing my teeth.
Oh, we'll get to that.
That makes
We're gonna
me
get
sick.
to that.
But when I was brushing my teeth this morning, I was thinking about Cody's segment. Don't know why. But like when he said, all I'm trying to do is win a wrestling championship.
Yes.
And everybody wants to make it personal.
They do.
Yeah. Like all you want to do is this, but everybody.
He's like, basically saying, like, I just came out here to cut a fucking promo.
That's all I
like,
wanted to do.
I'm excited to fight Roman, but no, you have to come out here and bring out my fucking dad.
You got
and every time I try to do anything, you guys start, so fuck it. Now
Yes.
Cody's unleashed.
And then he's like, you know what? So when I take that belt, I'm taking it personally. It's like that is a perfect. If it's off the cuff, you can't write that better.
Storytelling 101. So now you're gonna have two fantastic stories,
right?
All targeted around Roman Reigns. Like his run right now is
it's top notch.
It's the best run that there's been in probably fucking 15, 20
like Cole said, the last decade at least.
Yep.
He said, did you win an Emmy? And he was like, yeah, I
agree
laughed
with
too. But he's like, think about it. He said, sit down anybody. And I might do that because I know I have some friends that don't like they don't like wrestling. They just don't. It's fine.
Sure.
But if you sit somebody down and you like, I'm going to show them whatever video they make for the chamber because they're going to make a nice package of the whole history of Sami and Roman.
Sure.
It's going to be probably 10 minutes. I'm going to show it to them. Like, would you watch this movie? And they're like, absolutely. There's no way they're going to be like, bitch, it ain't a movie. It's on TV every week. Like, this is a real storyline.
It is. It's real.
And there's a lot of realism in it. And now you got fucking hearts are broken. Jay's missing.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know if you guys saw it. But
everyone was getting all pissed.
He said, bring Jay down.
And then when he asked Jim, he's like, what do you mean you don't know where your brother is? He didn't answer.
He said, I like how Solo never answered. He's like, Solo, you see Jay? And he doesn't answer. He goes, and then Jimmy's like, if I haven't seen him, Solo ain't seen him either, bro. It's like,
and I feel like, I know Jimmy took him out.
And they do they do fight Ricochet and Braun Strowman this Friday for the tag team titles.
Oh.
Interesting.
Interesting.
He ain't showing up. Jimmy's stepping in. Not Jimmy.
Solo
stepping in.
I mean, Solo's going to hit the spike on Ricochet. They're going to win.
They're going to retain.
Braun Strowman and Ricochet winning shit.
I mean, Braun Strowman's not going to take a pin, but Ricochet will.
Right.
Absolutely.
But,
interesting.
Yeah. A lot of shit going on, man.
Great
the cage match was really good. Alita is back.
Yeah.
Kind of random, but I dig it.
Well,
she is,
yeah, it was. To me, it was until I read that their goal is to
do issues with Bailey at one point.
match.
I think Lita had issues with Bailey at one point.
I think Bailey versus Lita is their Mania plan.
I think she had problems with Bailey.
So I wonder if they'll do.
As I remember,
they could do it. They could do Becky versus Trish on one night and Bailey versus Lita on the other.
They could do that.
Sure.
And then split it.
They
then
talked
you have
about
the women's
Becky and
title
Trish
matches
before.
split.
And they come together.
Yeah, and like it all works in one weekend.
I like it.
Dude, I mean, I'll never not pop for Trish and Lita.
No,
Right,
I mean,
me
they're
either.
both good. Did you
They're
see her
good.
twist of fate?
Yeah.
Like she hit a legit.
Oh.
It was kind of rough at first because you ripped the girl off the cage. I guess she didn't want to come down. She's like threw her
Yeah.
down.
She took her down.
Yeah, like she's like, you're coming down, bitch.
Very
But,
good match. I was excited.
It was a little rough.
It's another good week of
It
TV.
finally happened.
And I have to watch NXT from last night from what I've read and heard from Yvonne. Another solid match, another solid night of NXT. They're
Yep.
building toward their biggest paper.
They are.
Premium Live. God damn, that take a while to get used to.
I'm never going to say
Premium Live.
Live.
I ain't even.
I'll say pay-per-view for
I'm
PLE.
saying pay per me too.
It's PLE week.
That's too much.
Right.
Remember, I'm saying pay per view.
So we did have a heel turn last night.
We
Yeah,
did. I did see
we
that on
did.
YouTube.
Marty Jannetty, Michael's basically rebooked that segment.
He did. With a door instead of a glass
So we'll
window.
do something different. So I put this in the group chat. I was like, look, top 5 turns, heel, babyface. I don't give a fuck. Just tell me which one it is so I know. 10 minutes later, Chuck sends like this fucking thing this long. So he went off memory. First off,
Chuck was the
Oh,
first
normally
one.
Chuck goes on like everybody else here. We
He
get
does.
online.
Oh, yeah.
I did. Like I started looking, but Chuck just goes from memory and
I
sends
got on
me, like,
YouTube.
this fucking much.
I got
so
on
we will
YouTube.
start with you. Since
Chuck
this,
was on it.
this is Chuck's topic right here.
It's Chuck's
Well,
topic.
the thing with pro wrestling is it's all about emotions, right? And
Right.
growing up, the biggest emotions are a turn.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
especially
Well,
if you're
Sammy hitting
wrestling.
Roman with the chair.
Exactly. It's
That's a
huge.
turn.
Sammy
emotion.
beating the
Huge.
fuck out of Roman until
I mean,
the
beat the-
bloodline showed up.
Yep.
Dude, that pop, and he beat Roman. That
He did.
spear, that
Fucking-
fucking spear.
Out of nowhere.
And even the
Out of
fans are
nowhere.
like, holy shit.
Paul Heyman.
Paul's like,
He gives it away.
He
with
owned
his
it.
emotions.
dude,
He
they
did.
set some kind of fire off in him
They did.
and just wait till KO comes back.
And that was
Right,
perfect because
yeah.
when Sammy said, I don't want anything from you until now.
Yeah, he was like, I never wanted nothing. Dude,
Yep.
it's
I
I
love
got
it.
goosebumps.
Perfect.
It's a perfect story.
It's perfect.
It's wrestling. It's hard to be perfect. That is a perfect story.
That's cinema, like you said.
I agree.
It is.
It's-
Look,
I love it.
I was really
I'd
bored with the
keep the
bloodline
feud
for
go-
2
look,
years. And then
I
this,
would keep the feud going after Mania.
I
with
hope so.
Zayn.
I hope
Like
so
I'd have
too.
Zayn and Cody's side. Like if him and KO beat the Usos, right? And if that's the plan, okay,
Sure.
that feud's obviously going to continue because Usos want their shit back.
Sure.
Then you involve Cody in that. You
God,
have
yeah.
there's a lot of potential still to keep that going after
And
Mania.
that's the thing, because if Cody needs to win, if he loses,
Yeah,
I'll be a
Cody-
little disappointed.
well,
Yeah.
He needs to win,
Yeah.
and then Roman can still, and it can, whatever, but it can still be Sammy and Kevin in their side of the bloodline. It's like, there's a thorn in my sides. Grr. Like
this might be where they try to take a belt from him. What if he just
Yeah.
came on SmackDown and fucking erupted? Attacked
Probably.
Pierce,
Why not?
destroyed the
Probably did.
ring,
He probably
spears
will.
fucking Wade Barrett, something crazy.
Yeah.
Then Pierce is like, you know what, dude? We're stripping you of your fucking
you're
Raw
done.
title.
He's been warning them
You're
for
like,
a while.
He's
we're
been
taking
warning
your
him.
Raw championship from you. You're not world heavyweight champion. You're not undisputed no more. And we'll put that in a fucking tournament for WrestleMania. And it's like, oh shit.
Be funny.
Because they do want to split the
He's
belt.
had,
Yeah.
like Chuck said, Pierce has warned him many times.
Yeah,
This
He
is
said
a-
Roman included.
Now look, so
That's what he said.
I kind of picked, you guys said some good shit, so I picked a couple from yours and I added to them.
I did too.
Nice.
Like I said,
Nice.
we'll start with Chuck. This is his
This is
topic.
Chuck's,
He was
yeah.
ready to fucking go.
Chuck is ready to go.
I
That's
looked
right.
at my phone and I was like, damn.
Chuck's ready
Well,
to go.
after I submit, there's like 4 more. I was like, there's this and there's this
Yeah.
and there's
Oh, I
this.
started researching. So
I had to get on
I'll bring
YouTube
up
for
some
mine.
honorable ones that I found because
Nice.
they're like Mysterio and Batista.
Yep.
How did I forget about
I
that?
I
forgot
remember
about
that.
too.
Because they were
yeah.
so loved together.
And I did,
Sure.
and I was like, fuck Batista.
Weren't they tag champions? at one
They
point?
were tag team
Yeah.
champions, and then Batista,
Yeah.
they kept losing, and Batista got all pissy about it. I remember watching that shit last
You
in
tell
college.
I
when that
watched,
went
been
down.
watching a lot of old wrestling lately.
Yep.
Yeah, remember that.
This is a runner-up. I almost said fuck my last one and let's change it, but I didn't. But anyway, whatever. We'll just go on.
Bro, my
So-
internet's lagging.
I can pull it up. No worries. One that if I could talk about Paul Heyman, I remember when he turned on Brock Lesnar. It was like, oh shit, fucking Paul Heyman. Fucking Paul Heyman. So
what he's up to.
Chuck's number 5.
Yep.
Now, this was one that is probably not the most popular. Even Stone Cold's not a fan of it these days. He's talked about. He's like, I wish I would have just. Is there a picture to go along with it?
Shit, my bad. I just
You're no worries. Got me off guard a little bit.
My bad. I tried to use that picture like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, I got you. All right, well, whatever.
But we love
Here,
that.
go to brand.
We love
Just
that.
take it off. It's the very top picture.
We love that picture too.
I mean, it is fun. No
Technical
arguments here.
difficulties over here.
Yeah, I'm showing lag too, and it's plugged in. So whatever. It is what it is. There it goes. Cool. So my number 5 is Stone Cold's heel turn against The Rock at WrestleMania 17, which is before the invasion angle. So you guys may remember they had a match, and going into the match, The Rock was the bad guy and Stone Cold was the good guy. And then they did a double turn, which is rare in the wrestling industry. And WrestleMania 17 is arguably one of the biggest WrestleManias of all time. Everybody seems to have
a stacked.
They always throw it in their top WrestleManias. We've talked about this show several times. So it's a rare thing to do a double turn. And then also when Stone Cold turned heel, not only did he turn heel and beat the fuck out of The Rock, he also joined Vince McMahon at the end of it.
That was
Which is crazy. They've had how many feuds throughout?
Right,
They obviously the McMahon-Austin feud is one of the biggest feuds of all time.
the picture will show up in about a half hour.
no worries. So it was really, and I didn't watch this pay-per-view live. I was a child, but I remember the next night on Raw, and I went to every Monday after pay-per-view, I'll go to the library after school and then read the results of said pay-per-view on their computer. And I remember reading the results like, what the fuck? And, being very surprised about that. Then watching Raw that same night live, I was fucking pissed. Because one, I like Stone Cold. Two, that's the picture. He shook Vince McMahon's hand. What? And then that went on to form the power trip with Triple H.
There it is.
There it is.
Give it a few minutes. Yep, there it is.
Like, what the fuck? And now Austin went on record to say, I wish I didn't do this. I wish I would have stunned him and moved on with it because it was a terrible gimmick, which I kind of agree with. But, then he joined the power trip with Triple H, which is also a WTF because they, in my opinion, have one of the best feuds of all time. Austin and Triple H do. They almost killed each other a few times.
Yeah, I remember that.
Getting ran over and forklifts and shit.
Sounds about right.
So all of that is like a WTF, but Austin was in a whole different mode. Like his brain didn't work. His eyes are always glistened over. He had great segments with Kurt Angle that I think are kind of overlooked these days, but they had great comedy segments with Kurt Angle during that time.
Oh yeah.
Playing the guitar and shit. Like in my opinion, it worked really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
And then the infamous Raw where they beat the holy shit, Triple H and Austin beat the holy shit out of Lita with a steel chair.
Wow,
Watched it the other day. Have you seen it? That segment?
Thank a while.
Oh, check it. If you haven't, it's brutal.
Poor Lita.
But it's awesome. And now that's my number 5. And I almost said replace that with Austin's face turn after this during the invasion angle because Austin was at a bar and Vince was like, we need the invasion angle. Then Stone Cold, you all know, pulled up to that arena and fucking stunned everybody from the WCW or ECW roster. Remember that whole thing?
I think I remember that.
Stunned everybody in the back, came in the ring, stunned everybody in the ring.
Jeez.
Unfortunately, he turned heel again the next pay-per-view to join the WCW. So that was back and forth a lot. But this one was one of those things, the biggest WrestleMania of all time, arguably.
Mm-hmm.
He joined Vince. He joined Triple H, which is just something you don't see.
You don't see.
And it's all about emotions. And as a child, I was like, what the fuck, Stone Cold?
Like, what's wrong with
what
you?
The fuck?
You don't like these people.
But yeah, so that's my number 5. It's just the memory and the emotions of it's like, you're my guy. You're my Superman, and you joined the Joker. What the fuck?
That's hard to believe.
But anyway.
I remember that.
Are you back online?
No.
All right, no worries. So then, that was my number 5. Number 4, Vince McMahon again at a WrestleMania. Vince McMahon turns on The Rock at WrestleMania 2000. Forget the year, but
I mean, it's a good call by Vince. Fuck The Rock.
but do you guys remember that?
I do. I didn't remember these until you.
A little bit. Yeah,
when I saw your list, I was like YouTubing them as I was like
some of these I remember
typing them out.
Nice.
A little
bit.
bit.
At least I know what the fuck you're talking about.
This one's a little bit.
And this is one, again, I was watching wrestling live pretty consistent. I was still pretty young, but doing the same thing, going to library, reading the pay-per-view results, watching Raws and Smackdowns. And it was a fatal 4-way elimination match at WrestleMania. McMahon in each corner. It was The Rock versus Triple H, who was the champion, versus Mankind, or Mick Foley. They call him Mick Foley, versus The Big Show. Shane was with Big Show. Linda was with Mick Foley, Stephanie with Triple H, probably McMahon Helmsley era, and then The Rock with Vince McMahon. And during this match, and if you guys remember the build-up, obviously, The Rock was my boy back then. And Austin was out with an injury. And so The Rock was the guy. And I love The Rock. I was very emotionally invested in The Rock. My dad may have thought I had weird thoughts about The Rock sometimes back then.
Josh just
I just remember watching all of that stuff. I love The Rock, and I thought he was going to do a championship. There's been Raws and Smackdowns before that where Stephanie smacked The Rock a few times and blah, blah, blah.
I remember that. Yep.
And so it was a McMahon in every corner. Watched it, and I didn't watch it live, but I did rent the VHS not too long after and watched it then. And The Rock gave Stephanie a rock bottom and a people's elbow during that match, giving that redemption. And then as The Rock went to beat Triple H and finally win that title, Vince, who was in his corner, came in the ring and smacked him with a chair in the fucking head. Joining Triple H and Stephanie. And you guys remember Vince had a match with Triple H at the Armageddon before this pay-per-view.
I remember it. Yep.
I remember written that VHS tape as well. And so, it was a big deal at the time for Vince to join this couple.
Yeah, it is.
First your Nintendo.
Now the
VHS
tape.
Hey, man, I remember I had WrestleMania 2000 on the Nintendo 64. That was the same WrestleMania. The graphics or whatever.
2000.
Yeah, that's why I call it WrestleMania 2000. But yeah, and then the next night on Raw, The Rock came out with a steel chair, ready to whoop some ass on Mr. McMahon's ass. It was a fuck you Vince moment.
Oh yeah.
And I was really invested. So that's one of those heel turns I'll never forget, no matter how old I get. I'll be talking about if I have a grandkid in 50 years talking about wrestling, and he's talking about the same topic, this is coming to mind.
You're about to transition into your next one.
Yep.
That's how I feel about your next choice.
Oh, is it Triple H?
No.
Oh, makes sense.
I got
that is what I'll be. This is like the equivalent
to current. Yeah,
it's like the current.
That's
age
on mine
turning.
too. Yep.
Look, and everybody has the fucking
Where's Randy Orton?
picture with the
Cool.
chair. Okay,
Sure.
I put different pictures. It's Triple H.
Orton.
He's got the proud dad look, and Orton's
It
like,
is.
"Fuck you."
This picture makes the most sense in my
That's
opinion.
what. Yeah.
He joined in his Shield gear. If you got audio listeners,
Yep.
Seth, a picture of Triple H smiling with his arm around Seth Seth's in Shield gear after he just turned on the
Shield. Roman and Dean Ambrose.
Roman and
Right.
I don't know the other guy's name. He's washed up drunk now.
Yeah, he's sober now.
Oh, okay.
He's sober.
All right, he's just washed up. So, but anyway,
I disagree. That's cool. But yeah, I mean, current day, I guess it was current. This is fucking almost 10 years ago now, but
that's crazy.
It
It is crazy.
It is crazy.
But fuck.
It really is crazy.
Yeah, we can't even say it.
We knew each other at
so
this
next
point.
year, it'll be the 10-year anniversary of Rollins
Yeah.
turning or something.
Yeah.
Next
How much
year.
you want to bet that Roman versus Rollins has to fight on the fucking
They have
anniversary
to.
of
Why
that,
not?
right?
Why
You
not?
have that's a long-term story.
It
That
is. But this is now they had so at this point in time, it was the Shield. They've had a good run. They've been around for like
Yeah, they
just
had a
under 2
really-
years.
They did.
And they had the feud against Evolution, who had come
Very
back
good.
for Evolution.
The Wyatt family.
Wasn't the worst feud.
No, I had
I
two,
thought it was gonna be terrible.
two
It was
pay-per-views.
Yeah, I thought that and the
Yep.
Wyatt feud was
The
good.
Wyatt.
as well.
Family. Yep.
So we had the Shield versus Evolution. We had it was Extreme Rules and Payback, I believe. Is that right?
I think you're right. I think you're right.
And they had good matches, and the Shield won both times.
They did.
They should have.
And then after Payback, it was the next night on Raw when that went down.
Yep.
And the Shield was in the ring together. Bring it on. Evolution back on the ramp. I think it might have been Batista. It was definitely Triple H and Randy Orton. And Triple H had his sledgehammer in hand. And then he had his sledgehammer there. Let's fight Seth Rollins. I remember this. I watched it the one time. I haven't gone back and watched that Raw since. But I remember Seth Rollins running to the ringside, getting the chair, coming back in, like, come on, and then takes that chair and the infamous chair shot to Roman Reigns.
Yep.
It's like, oh shit. And this is post-internet, but I didn't see this shit coming. Did anybody else see this?
I didn't see it. Nope.
I watched it live. You
It's
guys
the
watched
best
it live.
shit.
It was.
I didn't see it coming.
Nope. I did
So-
not. It was a weird time.
It
Like
was
they
like-
just won the feud.
Yeah.
It was an
But
oh my
then,
god
you
moment for
learn-
sure.
Bought
Then-
in. That's what I
But
said,
dude,
bought in.
But then it led to this fucking Seth. Phew.
Yeah,
Like
fuck,
straight
yeah.
to the fucking
Became
moon.
champion,
Top,
skyrocketed.
It
yeah.
worked
Mhm.
perfect.
This was when the Authority really took over.
They did.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was a good time in
We
wrestling.
talked about it with Bebe a few weeks ago. That was a lot of people hated that time. But
I thought it was
Authority was
good.
one of the
I
better.
like the
It
Authority.
was in the current day. It was good.
They took control and actually,
Well, I'm
things went the
slowly
right
like
way.
I'm enjoying that Pierce is trying to like
I
actually
do
have a
too.
set now.
Yeah.
I
Like
do
he's like and still like he is the Authority.
He
like
is.
it's now a stat like we knew like it's Pierce. Like everybody goes to Pierce.
You don't fuck, yeah.
So like,
I mean,
He's getting a little.
you have to have an on-screen authority figure. I think that's hurt AEW a little
absolutely
bit because they
agree.
don't. Tony just comes out and spazzes out for a few minutes between commercial breaks. Apparently, go ahead. You're the one that told me.
one of my buddies was there last week. Got my
Oh, God.
yeah, we're not my buddies. We like to talk shit together on the internet. He's my buddy's boss, actually. But he was there and he was texting me photos and shit. And he was like sending me pictures of Tony Khan. Like he's just out here freaking out during commercial breaks.
That sounds about
He
right.
comes out. He's like,
What do I say? What do I say?
I got pictures on my phone. It's Tony Khan freaking the
What
fuck
pay
out.
per view is this?
now
Is it-
was he wearing this?
Probably.
Was he standing by this?
Probably.
Probably.
RSH.
That's definitely in Gorilla.
Now look, I know a lot of people have questions. Is Ball Talk sponsored by Tony Khan and his pile of cocaine? No, that is an RSH exclusive. Ball Talk is sponsored by Tom Brady and his new nude pictures and his deflated balls.
That happens.
Tom Brady retires the next morning.
Yeah, dude, photos.
Did you see what he did?
Yeah.
He has
he sends a
underwear
photo
now?
in his underwear in his bed and goes, and it worked. Like 90, it said 9,000 models reached out to him,
I mean, he's not going to be.
and he got some very inappropriate pictures in his inbox. So it's not a bad thing.
Oh,
Like he's about to make $40 million a year
Yeah.
to call football, and he's probably, you know, what's funny? He's probably going to be very good at it because he's a very
He's
smart
gonna
guy.
be.
Yeah.
He's
Like
gonna
Tony
be good.
Romo about dropping the N word, like none of that shit.
Dude, I saw another meme made it was perfect sense. It was like, dude, he went back to football to play one more year just to make his wife leave him so he can play golf and get random ass strange for the rest of his
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
Like,
Forget-
and be the good guy in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Forget her.
He's the victim.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Man, this was one of the best, most.
Dude, it was great.
It was
It
a
was
very
great.
good modern
10-year
turn.
anniversary. We need to
That's-
remember that
Yep.
because you heard it here first. That's a perfect fucking.
Yep.
It was.
I need to look up that date.
It was good. I believe it was after the Payback pay-per-view. I remember the posters. The posters really good too. I remember really enjoying that whole feud.
Okay.
And then Rollins elevated.
June 2nd.
Gosh.
He went on to have his match with Brock Lesnar, his feud with Brock Lesnar. He went on to have a match with, Roman Reigns. It was good shit.
It was.
Such good shit.
None of us seen it coming.
This is coming off a point too where wrestling was kind of rough. Like from 08 to 2012, it was like, the PG guest host.
Oh, yeah.
It was a bad time.
It was-
Okay,
it was a
so it'd be Money in the Bank time next year,
Okay.
as when the 10-year anniversary would be.
I'd buy that. It makes sense.
Do you do a full circle thing where like Seth's champion or something, then Roman fucking wins the briefcase? I don't know.
Why not?
That's a year
Why
from now.
not?
I
You,
mean,
you definitely have to.
anything could
funny.
happen.
You definitely have to consider that.
Anything could happen.
I was looking at. I'm looking at the list for this year. Obviously, the pay-per-views might change, but the
Sure.
June pay-per-view this year, they don't have one, but it's Money in the Bank on the 1st of July.
It's usually
So-
when they bank around.
And that's
that,
in
man.
England. That's the first pay-per-view in England in like 10
That's
years.
awesome.
But
We just had one. We just had one on a Saturday that all of our fucking friends from the UK went to in Cardiff.
oh yeah, but this is a different part.
That's a different
It's
part.
the
Just a different
It's
part.
the first one. This
It's
arena's
somewhere.
had in, like,
This is a
10 years.
real pay per view, not a
Not that
different
shit,
gimmick.
Not that shit side with the. That's right. They did go to Cardiff, didn't they?
Yeah,
All right, 2 times in 10 years.
there you go. Cool. So that was a good one.
I knew your number. I've talked to you enough about this subject. I knew your first two.
That makes
Yeah, I
sense.
think I
I
did
knew your
too.
first two.
I think I did.
I
too.
think we might have watched these together before.
Probably. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell a story about this one in particular. My number two is Triple H turns face to reunite DX with Shawn Michaels in 2006.
Look at them
I remember,
united.
I remember this one.
Now I remember watching this. I was 18 because I was just getting ready to graduate high school. Right, it was the same time period I was getting ready to graduate when this shit went down. And Triple H had been a heel for years. Obviously, him and Shawn Michaels feuded for a while, and then they started getting both of them were getting fucked with by Vince. Shawn had a great WrestleMania match against Vince at WrestleMania 2006, which was WrestleMania 22. WrestleMania 22 was Shawn Michaels versus Vince McMahon in a ladder match, or it wasn't a ladder match, but they used ladders in it. It was really, really good match. I remember getting very excited, very pumped. Probably one of the last times in my life I felt this excited for professional wrestling, which is kind of sad in its own right. But I was very excited. That was the first pay-per-view that I bought myself. It was WrestleMania 22. And at that same WrestleMania, Triple H versus John Cena for the belt. At that WrestleMania, both of these guys did the DX chops. So I was like, oh, that's where the hint starts, right?
Yep.
But, that was in April or late March. So then fast forward, I think this was in late May, I believe, when this went down. So Vince is fucking with not only Shawn, I was starting to fuck with Triple H. And we have the Spirit Squad getting involved, beating up both guys. So, shit goes on. And then Triple H is getting his ass beat in the ring. And then Shawn Michaels, Triple H is getting his ass beat by Spirit Squad, but only one at a time, Then he starts getting jumped. And Vince is at the Titantron. All right, come on out. You're the last guy. Come on out there and join in on this. And then he flies out of the, flies out.
Throws out.
He did.
Doing some tumbling. Shawn Michaels apparently rolling up for this throw. And then HBK walks out, gets in Vince's face. Kind of, I want to say run, but more of a limp down the ramp. Gets in the ring, does some super kicks. So now, for the first time since 2002, because that's when that fucking turn happened that we're going to talk about here in just a second. But for the first time in 4 years, they're in the ring, not fighting each other, and they've had some good. And then now, but for the first time in 4 years, they're fighting with each other against the same people. So they clear the ring like only DX can. They get in each other's faces, all pissed because they're enemies. And then they fucking high five. And it's like, they high five. Some dicks get hard. It's very exciting. Very exciting stuff. And then, so obviously they're back together. And it's a very, very phenomenal face turn. And so that happened on Raw. Their very first pay-per-view together was against the Spirit Squad. And I swear to God, guys, I am not making this up. That happened on Raw. So obviously we know the next Raw, we know that they're going to be together, right? And I swear to God, my girlfriend at the time.
Oh God.
This is back when I'm just getting laid for the first time, right? I did not have sex with her to watch Raw. I swear to God. Because she was, we were just graduated or getting ready to graduate high school. We're finally having the ability to do this kind of stuff. And I got fucking Raw on my TV because I'm watching DX come back for the first time in 4 years. And,
he said tonight I'm going all Raw.
That's right. I'm all in on Raw, baby. Hope you like Raw. But yeah, I swear to God, I could have had sex that night when I was 18 years old. Not for the first time, but early on. And instead,
so after 4 or 5 hours, did you think of Bobby Lashley?
Oh God! No.
Instead of those 4 to 5 hours, I was only thinking about Triple H and HBK.
I never thought I'd say I love Brock Lesnar.
I never said
that promo was so amazing. He said, "Yeah, I drive my tractor. Then I think about Bobby Lashley. Then I go hunting. I have sex with my wife for 4 or 5 hours.
I get my wife 4 or 5 hours later.
Then I think of Bobby Lashley."
Oh my God!
Chuck's comment is does he think during? Chuck with that investigative journalism right there.
With each pump, he's like, Bobby Lashley, Bobby Lashley,
Royal Rumble. Fuck you.
So gross. He's so disgusting.
All right,
good times. But I get it. So I'm just saying, as an 18-year-old, I had a pretty hot girlfriend at the time too, and instead of having sex with her, Brock,
that's how over the story was.
See, unlike Brock's has sex while thinking about it. I just don't have sex while thinking about it. What's worse? What's weirder?
Brock,
you're using less energy. So
I'm saying Brock.
In my eyes, you're winning.
Yeah, see?
I'm saying Brock's is winning.
It was a good Raw too. There's all kind of weird, there's all kind of chaotic. What's the word I'm looking for?
Spirit Squad. They got a lot out of that.
They did. They did.
Dolph
Ziggler
one
of their longest tenured
wrestlers.
Yeah, Ziggler.
Ziggler.
I remember that.
And I think that was they wanted the other guy to be the big guy. I forget his name now.
Kenny.
You're right. It was Kenny. He had a biker gimmick after that didn't last very long.
Oh my God.
He did.
They thought he was the next thing.
They did.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out
it's like with Evolution. Who was that guy that was supposed to be in it, but they decided not to put him in it?
Give me 1 second.
Was it Kennedy?
And not Kennedy. I can tell you because I remember watching him. What was his name?
Stasiak?
Something like that. I remember his face. What was his name? I remember what he looks like. And he was around for a minute after that.
Mark Jindrak.
No, not Jindrak. No.
That's what it says.
Mark Jindrak? Oh, you're right.
Triple H discussed Mark Jindrak being removed from Evolution.
You're right. It is.
Yeah.
They even did the pictures with him and stuff.
Yeah.
They did the stills.
The walk up, yep.
Apparently he got along with Randy Orton too well.
That was immature,
immature antics.
Like Randy Orton nowadays is volunteering, doing cool shit, being a family dude. Randy Orton in those days smoking pot, doing Lord only knows what, banging everything that'll look at him. Yeah,
it's fucking
very immature Randy Orton.
It's fucking off. Being a douchebag,
Yeah, I remember. I'll never forget. Just the guy flying from Gorilla, and I was like, "What oh fuck, like a Spirit Squad guy just flew onto my screen. There's Sean, and I'm like, oh fuck.
I was
like,
like,
yep.
Dude, I remember watching that shit live, and I was like, again, I was a senior in high school, 18 years old, and I was just fucking jacked up. Like, get him! Like, so I watched that WrestleMania with Vince. You know, it was all about fuck Vince. I loved watching. You know, I thought Vince McMahon was a great character on TV.
It was. It's
He
one of the
was,
best
yeah.
characters I think
He
ever.
was, absolutely.
Just I love that
Mr.
stuff.
McMahon character.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely. It's like fuck your boss, and it's like watching, you know, and that WrestleMania 22 match I'll never forget. That's one of my favorite matches ever. I'm not saying quality wise it was the best thing ever, but just at the time and place that it was where I was, it was perfect.
Just think about this. Like, I'd rather watch a match that's telling a good story. It
Agree.
doesn't have all the acrobatic shit than watch a 5-star match that they won, but
If you
now,
don't, if
you know what I
don't
mean?
remember
Like,
it,
now what?
right?
Like,
It's all about remembering.
we'll remember the Sammy match.
We
Sure.
will.
Whatever
we
happened.
will.
Probably, yeah.
Because it's
We
a
will.
huge, like,
Yep.
they're just doing everything
I mean,
right.
if you can have a 5-star match every week, but if you have a 5-star match every week, then they all run together.
Just looking at that picture,
So-
you got two of the greatest of all time. You got Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Yep.
And you wonder why WWE's doing so well. You have both of those guys integrated. They know this business.
They
They
do.
understand the business. They know how to book. They know how to get over. They know how to be a heel. They know every little tiny fucking thing you'll ever need to know.
Sure.
And you wonder why they're having success. NXT is
Yeah.
very good.
Yep, very good.
Sure.
I mean, Chuck's about the best person you could get to judge NXT because he doesn't watch it weekly like me and her do. So that's like the closest thing we're going to get to somebody watching it
Yeah.
that doesn't watch it at all.
Sure.
And then
He
weekly
does.
Raw, nobody's been more critical than us three.
Yep.
Yep.
And it's been amazing. It's
It's
been
very good.
great.
Very
like,
good.
Chuck watched it live for the first time in 10 years.
Hey, that should tell you something.
And it was a anniversary Raw, which we normally mock because they're stupid.
Right.
They're normally stupid.
Yeah,
They,
you know?
they normally
But,
are.
like, they made it work. So like, you have two of the great, like, that's why you don't think they know what's about, like, and
Triple H
they know Sammy's hot. They understand shit. Vince would just blind eye everything.
He would.
He
He
live
would.
in his little box.
Yep.
I'm convinced he has Michael Cole's box in his office. And
Probably.
he just sits in
He
it.
probably
And that's
does.
where he rips the scripts up and starts it over.
On his little yellow pad, he just stares
Yeah.
He stares at his fucking dinosaur head,
Yeah.
thinking about getting hit.
Ugh.
Tears up his.
Oh, God.
Somebody, I bet he sits at home. He's like, damn. I hope Adam Pearce tells Chelsea Green I'm the manager.
Right.
Jeez.
She can call me anytime.
Yeah.
Where's my checkbook
I
at?
fired her husband.
Where's the checkbook?
Anyway.
She doesn't know who her husband is. He forgot all about him.
Yeah, he's too confused.
But yeah, so that's, that was great shit. And that's my real story. I decided to watch the next Raw where they were actually DX instead of having sex with my girlfriend who was in my bed wanting to get it in at the time. That happened. But anyway.
Oh,
And then my number one, which believe it or not, is again Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Again, 2002. I remember watching this shit in my and this is my bedroom. This is before, this is my first house that I grew up in. And I remember it really well. Shawn had just come back from his injury. They had a whole thing. Triple H threw his head into a car window, but said he didn't do it. It was a whole thing. And I think Michaels left in 98. So this is 4 years since they've been together on TV in a DX fashion. And then just to hear that music hit. And I just got into wrestling like 97. So I knew what DX was, but my DX was mostly, as watching it live, was Triple H with the other guys, X-Pac, New Age Outlaws. So I knew Shawn Michaels was the head of it. I knew enough to really like it. But when I saw them come out, I was like, holy shit, I can see them together. This is awesome. And they come out doing the DX, whole shtick. It's like, this is fucking great. And then this motherfucker turns around and gives him the biggest pedigree I've ever seen in my life because they get airborne. You know what I mean? And Triple H was afraid because he knew Shawn, if you watch his interviews about it, he's like, I didn't want to hurt him.
right. Don't hurt nobody.
Yeah, I was afraid to do anything to him. So that's why it was it looked really big on screen, but really it was Triple H just letting go of him.
Right.
You know what I mean? But just to, do that to my boy who I never really saw, because by the time I got into Wrestling Weekly, HBK was already injured. So, but I knew enough. I watched VHS tapes enough. My buddies and I would, get together and watch this shit enough that I really was excited to see DX together live. And my first time watching it live. And then Triple H, who I already hated, at this point in time, I already told him he sucks to his face 2 years prior to this,
Yes, Triple H, you did do it.
Which you've all heard the stories.
Yeah.
This motherfucker smoking a cigarette.
And yes, you did.
And
Chuck, don't forget.
I never forget about Triple H. He's been in my memories. I always think about Triple H.
Oh, wow.
Whether I'm in the shower, whenever, anyway. So, but that was, that was the big
That's
thing.
big, look. Everywhere.
I'm taking Triple H when I'm in the shower, I'm
Triple
mowing the
H,
grass.
You know.
After I bang my wife for 4 or 5 hours.
He's in my
I'm
head.
taking-
And not
Triple
hours.
H.
You mean minutes?
God.
I'm not Brock.
I'm still jealous. I do seconds myself.
Oh my God.
It's like, oh, I didn't make it, babe. Oh, it's okay. Well, I'm just gonna put my pants back on then. She's like, okay,
I'm
babe,
not-
you almost
I'm
got them
not-
off.
I'm
It's
not-
like, oh, I got
I'm
off.
not saying
I'm
it.
done.
Just not the way you thought.
Sucks to be you.
Brock Lesnar made it uncomfortable enough. So
But yeah, that was a big one. And this is obviously after a couple of them I've already mentioned earlier, but it was one in my brain that was like, I was the most excited to see these two get together for DX, and then they took it away from me to the point that 4 years later I didn't have sex to watch it. So that's my life right there.
that's telling you something right there. What was more important?
All right. Yvonne, you're next. Did I show the picture? Yeah. All right. So Yvonne's number 5. I forgot about, but it's one of the most
Number 4,
underrated.
it's
turns.
Randy Orton turns on it. It's Randy Orton. It's on there.
To be fair,
No, they did the thumbs down.
yeah, Randy didn't turn Evolution.
Randy didn't turn.
Evolution
They
turned on
turned
Randy
Randy
Orton.
He's spitting Triple H.
Yeah, but that was after the fact.
That was after the fact.
We can take that off.
No, I left it. It's on there, Yvonne. They turned on Orton.
Well, technically, I guess if you put it that way, because what happened was Triple H or the Evolution turned on
Yeah,
Randy
it
Orton,
turned on.
and then Randy
Yeah,
Orton.
because he
won
won
the
the
belt.
title. Yeah.
But then Randy Orton agrees, like, you know what, you can have it back. So technically, if you think of it
He
that
did.
way, because that's when Randy Orton spit on his face, like you can have it back, and then he spit. and then-
Triple
and
H
then-
demanded him to take it, and bring it to him.
Somebody
And,
turned.
and Orton.
Anyway, let's start with 5. It's all right. We'll start with 5.
All right. What Chuck was talking about, the Hemsley McMahon era right here. Their match. Stephanie was kind of conflicted. She's going between sides. And then the night after that pay-per-view, she came out. She's married Triple H. She's like, I did the worst thing ever. I married somebody you hated most. And she married Triple H. They were married.
Greatest wedding ever.
It was nice.
Do you agree?
And
I do. It's like, what?
If I were working at that place, I'd do the same thing. You're married now.
she said she said other things, obviously, but yeah, she turned on her own father for Triple H. And then Triple H came out and they kissed right in front of him. What worse for a father is seeing their dog? She's like, I ain't daddy's little girl no more. Exactly. She's not.
Yep, and I think actually that turn happened at Armageddon that I mentioned
Mhm.
earlier tonight.
Yeah,
Funny.
you did.
That's funny.
Chuck caught it.
It's
Chuck
all,
caught
it's all
it.
going together.
It's a full circle.
It's a
Yeah.
big moment.
It was,
It's
yeah.
a huge moment.
Huge.
Look
It
at
was.
modern. Look at where we're at in 2023. Look
Yep.
what this started.
Yep.
He has a fucking full family with her. He's running the company.
Mhm.
That's
Like,
so funny.
it's bizarre. It's
Yeah.
crazy how shit gets
It did.
started.
Yep. And then you got married in 2003.
And Vince came out with a chair and wanting to beat the crap out of Triple H. Stephanie's like, are you going to hit me with that chair? Do it. Do it, Dad. Do it. She is all for Triple H.
Like this feud started.
I
mean,
loved it.
Yeah, this feud is what made them get married in the first place.
Mhm.
And like feud wise,
That's
think
why I
about
said
this.
it's underrated.
It's
It
very
is
This is
underrated.
big
a
time.
huge
It's
moment
very
in wrestling.
memorable.
Yes.
And if you remember the storyline wise, it
Mhm.
was Stephanie was dating Tess.
I remember
Yeah.
that. Gosh.
Like they were a
Tess.
couple.
Yeah.
And Vince endorsed Tess, you know, it was a big
Tess.
thing. And Triple H was
Yeah.
like,
She
Very-
said,
Wasn't it their wedding?
yeah.
she said, I wasn't getting ready to get married. She said,
She was in her wedding dress.
Somebody, yep, it was. Yeah, I remember that one.
And then Triple H was like, sorry guys, you can't get married quite yet. Because
Quite
turns
yet.
out,
Mm.
moved to Vegas
We're
last
married,
week,
bruh. Yeah.
drugged the fuck out of her, and now
But-
we're in Vegas.
Stephanie's saying this, and Vince's face is all tore up. I mean, obviously, it's like, geez, and Triple H comes out.
If you remember the Armageddon match, they beat the shit out of each other. Vince beat the fuck out of
They
Triple H.
did.
He had a fight and stuff. Good match. Something I'd
Very
like to go
good.
back and watch is have it in a while. I remember watching it on VHS. I watched it since.
1990 is hard for me to remember a lot, but
Years old.
I know. But Stephanie back then, I,
I
can
mean, I'm
remember a
assuming you
lot of
didn't watch
stuff.
this
I
live.
hope not.
I hope.
No, I didn't.
hope.
No.
So you're 3. So I was. So what? How old are you now? 32. So I was 8.
Well,
I don't think
obviously.
I was old enough to watch this yet.
I was 35. What was that? I was
But
watching
when,
this.
But when I was
You
old
were
enough to watch,
35 when I was 8. I believe it.
I
No,
was.
So you're 30.
That's fair.
I was 8. So you'd be 11.
All right. That adds up.
You were old enough to watch it. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I used to have to. I wasn't allowed to stay up late.
Oh,
Mom,
geez, that was wrong.
fucking really. I
I
still
was.
don't go to bed.
What was
before
your
10.
bedtime?
9.
Oh, mine was 9:30.
Raw came on at 9.
We never went to bed on time.
Yeah.
We never
I had
did.
I used to use old
We never
VHS.
did.
Oh, God damn it. I used to use VHS tapes.
Now who's old?
And like
Now who's
I'd
old?
write like
Yeah.
Raw 10, 21, 2005. And
Nice.
I'd wake up and I'd watch it before school.
Hell yeah.
I'd like
Yep.
have to hold the button on VCR. Like, we're
Yep.
gonna walk fast forward. I'd so fast. Look, Ric Flair was on, I'd fast forward just like I do his daughter. Not sexist,
Wow,
nothing. I fast forward all the flares.
She does suck.
Well, she's
But anyway,
she's married.
I did the same shit. I've been fast forwarding
But
since
yeah,
before streaming.
How young? I wasn't old enough to watch wrestling, but Stephanie back then, things she did, I could remember as I got into wrestling.
Yeah.
She's really like her role back then, just
Hell yeah.
not authority, but things with Triple H and Test and stuff.
Quick question. Here's a fun fact for you, or quick quiz plus fun fact if you don't know.
Uh-oh.
Is who the first time Stephanie was ever on WWE screen television at all? Who was she with?
Jericho.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Stone Cold. See, I wouldn't
Her
know
very
that.
first time on TV, she was just backstage,
Stone Cold.
standing by the hallway like
I
they
would
do.
not know
And
that.
Stone Cold was walking, looking for somebody. I forget who. Maybe Triple H. I don't remember who he was looking for.
Probably.
But he's like, "Hey, where is he?" And Stephanie was like, "I think he's that way." And then he kept walking. And that was her very first time on television.
All right.
Nobody knew that.
But yeah,
As a viewer, you wouldn't know who it was. But yep, very first time on TV. You can go on YouTube and you'll see her very first time on television. Stone Cold just walking all pissed off. Looking for
yeah, that's
somebody.
one I always Stephanie. I would always remember that. Just when I got into wrestling, but
Yeah, I mean, she drives it.
She did.
She's been driving it since 1999. She's been in main event storylines consistently since 1999.
just the thing that she said to her dad in that promo, like, "Holy crap!" Like, and then Vince is all tore up. She's like, "Are you gonna hit me, Dad? Do it, like, do it, Dad." And all the other nasty things said about Triple H. Oh, geez, I'm not surprised.
They had a match against each other once, and Vince won.
I remember that. I remember that.
I remember that too.
See, I do remember that.
too.
It was weird, and apparently he wanted to have a like an incest storyline with her, but they didn't approve it, which
Of
is a good
course not.
thing.
Yeah, it was just,
I mean, yeah,
Jeez.
that was now I can't say that's true or not, but if you Google
Look
it,
at what Vince is doing right
yeah,
now.
I mean,
Yeah.
it adds up. But I don't think she went along with it, so they had to scrap it. If the stories are true, if if the sources, I guess, or whatever are true, I believe it. So,
but number 4, I really remember. I get it confused. Good Lord, it's been so
Randy
long.
Orton's time in Evolution
Yeah,
ends.
very. It's
Bam.
crazy. I loved Evolution. Was where I became the Randy Orton fan right here.
absolutely.
That's where it started for me. I'm like, who's that guy on the other side? I'm like, I like him, and he's good look. That's what caught
He's
me.
good
But
looking,
He
yeah.
was good looking. Then I'm like, oh crap, I really like Orton. And I watched him. But yeah, he won the World Heavyweight Championship. He became like the youngest champion. He held the Intercontinental
Beating
title.
the Rock's reign.
Yeah, he did.
Took the Rock's reign from him.
and they're by his side. And Triple H, he didn't have the title. Got the thumbs down.
Thumbs down. Yep. Ended up being Batista's
Smacked.
fucking signature.
Smacked. It did.
Batista stole it. He's like,
They went from holding him up in the
he
air.
wasn't even involved really.
He wasn't.
He was there.
He was holding Triple
He
H.
wasn't.
He was holding the shoulders.
He's like, yeah, I like that. I'm taking this.
From going down to Evolution, starting out, seeing, watching, getting familiar who Randy Orton is, and then he won the title, how exciting that was, and then holding him up there. We're so proud of you. Thumbs down. Triple H smacked him in the face. Blood. It's my title. It ain't yours.
It was good shit. When you see, and
Yeah.
Randy really played that with his face too, because you see
He did.
Triple H doing the thumbs up, smiling,
Mhm.
and then he looks at Batista, does a thumbs down, and then Randy like plays. He's like,
He did. Like, holy crap.
and,
crap.
and then Batista drops him.
He did. Like,
I remember that segment very
That's-
well as well.
like I said, it's crazy. Watching Evolution will have a special place in my heart because that's where I reckon familiar with Randy. That's where I became the Randy Orton fan. Then I liked Evolution,
Sure.
and then this definitely stands out to play me. Like Orton gets turned on, he actually wins a title.
Yep. And
That's normally how it goes.
It's normally how it goes.
They get to the top, jealousy ensues.
Takes it.
It's the best
And then it
rivalry.
went from Triple H wanting
I
Orton
do-
to hand him the belt, and he spit in his face. But
I do
that's from
want
there.
to point out there's a common theme here.
Triple H.
You think Triple H is a faithful guy?
He is, right?
I noticed that.
Exactly.
I'm looking at my list. I'm like, fuck.
Triple H.
He's all about the heel face turns, dude. And the cool thing about
He is.
Evolution too is, Randy Orton and Batista and Ric Flair and Triple H. The cool uniqueness about Evolution compared to other groups, even DX included, is Evolution is the only group where every member went on to be very successful,
It is.
long-term heavyweight champions. And I say long-term because Batista held up the line. He ran SmackDown for years.
Mhm.
Randy is Randy. We all know Randy
Yep.
Orton. And then Ric Flair, we know, they've
Batista
all.
might be the headliner this year for Hall of Fame.
I believe
think
that.
so.
I saw. I
I
heard that.
Because remember, he turned
yeah.
it down last time
He
Yep.
did.
because he wanted
His own-
he wanted to be the guy.
Yep.
He was like I forget whose it was, but he's like I'm not being like
I don't want to be his shadow.
yeah, like I'm not. I want to be built around.
Sure, which makes sense.
That
He's a big
does.
movie
He
star.
was
now.
big enough.
Yeah, but he ran SmackDown for like
He
4
did, I
years.
remember
Yeah.
that.
I mean, no, he's deserving.
I agree.
He is.
So and he was a good champion at the time.
He was over. He was
Very
over
good
as hell.
champion.
And then he came back as Blue Cheese and became a joke and couldn't handle
Oh,
it.
God.
But you know,
I kind of don't remember that.
but then he went on to be a blue character in fucking Marvel. But whatever.
Right, which makes sense now.
Hey, Batista, just Avatar, bro. Like, if you want to be blue,
Jeez.
that's where you go.
Well, he's blue in the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy.
He
All my
is.
buddies were trying
He
to
is.
get me to go see that movie he just came out with.
I just seen it.
It
It was
actually
good.
knocked Avatar
It was
off.
really
Knock
good.
on the wood.
It knocked
was
Avatar
good.
out of #1.
It was
What
really
is it? It
good.
knocked Avatar out of #1. after
Oh,
that.
good.
So
Yeah, that one. It's M. Night Shyamalan.
I seen it.
Yvonne went and saw the Tom Brady movie.
I seen both of them in the same day.
You saw Knock in the Cabin?
We both did.
Is it
Yep.
good?
It was very good.
Now, I'm not usually a fan of M. Night Shyamalan films.
It was good.
Is there a twist? Don't lie. It's M. Night Shyamalan.
Sort
There's
of.
probably
Sort
a
of.
fucking
There's a
twist.
twist.
Every movie he does has a twist.
There's a twist. There's a twist. A
All
little bit.
right. I'll watch it when it's. I can watch it for free upstairs.
I don't mind
I'm
it.
that way with Megan. Like, I haven't seen it yet, and
You
it's like,
like it.
I'm just
Oh,
gonna wait
fair
until
enough.
it's like $2.99 to rent or something.
We bought Megan last weekend because Danae had her friend here. When I was watching NXT, they were watching Megan down here. You can rent it or buy it on Amazon now. It was rent for $20 or buy for $25.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm at. So like, I'm like, I don't need it because I'm never gonna watch it again. I just need it to be cheaper to rent.
Sure.
And it'll go.
Oh, in a few months.
Paramount,
Right.
somebody will take it.
Yeah. I liked it. I liked it enough that I'll be willing to buy it. It's Blumhouse. I like Blumhouse.
Blumhouse is amazing. They
I
make
do like
all
it
my
too.
favorite movies. Sinister.
Yeah.
Blumhouse is good shit.
They do.
Also good shit. Yvonne's #3.
Yep. We talked
We hit
talk
on
much
this one.
about it, but
Yeah, we'll go through that because that one is on my list as well.
very memorable. Can't forget that. Oh my God.
All
felt-
right.
We all had Rollins and
Triple H.
Yeah,
The
the Shield.
I got you.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's a good one.
Very
Probably
good.
the
Here we
last
go.
good one.
Two current ones
Ooh.
that can't stop thinking about, obviously.
When you're in the shower, when you're brushing your teeth.
Do you think of Roman Reigns when you're taking a shower?
No.
I don't.
No,
I don't-
no.
This is not information you need to share.
No, I wasn't. Memorable was like,
I don't want to know what you're doing when
No.
you're thinking of Randy Orton.
no,
Stop.
no. I'm not that.
It's a child show.
This is PG.
We'll say that for
Stop.
Chuck.
Stop.
That is
Stop.
not me. That's
I don't.
Chuck.
All right. Anyway,
That's Chuck.
Hey,
that
I
ain't
don't
me.
think about Roman Reigns in the shower.
I don't either. I'm
Well,
just saying.
maybe sometimes.
I mean, I do.
I mean,
I
Like,
don't
if I
even-
had that hair,
right?
I'm
Right.
not thinking of that.
I'm,
no.
I'm washing my
I want to
bald
buy.
head.
I want to buy all white teeth and get them put in my body.
I'm not thinking. That's not what I meant.
Think about
Anyway.
that. Like his shower has to be long because of that.
Yeah.
Mine's
That's-
like real fast.
That's not what I
it's not
meant. You
me.
guys know what I mean.
I don't know. If you asked me out on a date,
Current
I'd
one-
probably let him buy me dinner.
I mean, why would I say no? It's gonna be a steak dinner.
Yeah, oh, dude,
Jeez.
and I got to meet Paul Heyman. It's a win-win.
Absolutely.
Anyway, go ahead.
Two
Yvonne.
ones. I should use my
Sami
words.
Zayn turning on the
Two
bloodline
shock ones. I
at
should say.
Royal Rumble 2023 is her #2 to
Yep,
clarify
we-
for you audio people.
We talked about it, and we didn't know. Obviously, we knew not anytime soon, but it
This is
finally
a good
did.
example
It's a
of we
great-
knew this was coming.
Roman's
and
face
it
gives it
still
away.
worked.
Delivered.
Roman's face was my face of shock when this happened.
Hey, look at that clip for you audio listeners.
It
It's,
does.
it's the picture of Sammy standing over Roman with a steel chair, and Roman looks shocked and kind of scared.
He
Yeah.
did kind of, yeah.
He's
Sammy had enough.
he's in shock.
Yep.
He's like, "What the fuck? I loved you.
Yeah.
You want to go do jackass shit, dude?" And wait, when Sammy cuts
Yeah.
another promo, he's gonna break that up. Yeah, that jackass shit is my best moment of
It
my
was,
career,
yeah.
bitch.
And he could
Until
say-
I take your title.
And he could say, I highlighted your main event. Who did
He
you
did.
fight? Nobody remembers.
And then the part where Roman's like, you fucking destroy my family. I'm gonna beat you in front of your wife, your kid,
Yep.
your fans, your
Yep.
country, your family.
Everything.
He said, you don't fuck with me.
Those
It's
guys-
amazing.
and this is-
Friday on
yeah.
SmackDown was it was just as big of a
And
moment as this
and
one right
his
here.
fate with KO, where that is now.
Yep,
hand
and
cam-
KO is the X
Did
Factor.
you see
He's
his
just
shirt?
floating out
Yeah,
there.
he
his
is.
shirt the other day when he walked into Raw the other night. His shirt.
Sami Zayn forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was for the Rumble.
Oh, with the Rumble?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that was amazing.
That makes sense.
That would be the
makes
night
sense.
that, yeah.
And it took a big turn for the bloodline, definitely.
Oh, yeah. And the
Paul
story's
Heyman's
ongoing.
face, Roman's face, KO, poor guy, laying out, handcuffed, everything played of shock. how
I
this
can't lie.
was.
I'm keeping this picture.
That's a good one.
This picture,
good.
I like it.
Google
Very good. picture.
really makes me struggle to find a picture with good quality that I could use.
Yep.
I'm going to use this.
Roman's face gives it away.
Yeah, we'll
He
keep
really
that.
does.
That's
He's,
a blowout.
he's really gotten good with his facial expressions.
And Paul Heyman, God bless his heart, he
All right, Yvonne, you're #1.
another current one that we talked about on this show many times. Like, oh, we're sick of talking about it. When's it gonna happen?
Dominic Mysterio acknowledged his daddy.
Yeah, he
That's
did.
a cool shirt.
He did. One
It's
week,
my only Roman Reigns shirt I own.
Nice.
But
nice,
I only
nice.
bought it because it says acknowledge your daddy.
Me can wear that out to the bar. Nobody knows.
I do.
it. Nobody knows.
Yeah,
The women know. They're like, that's that guy that can't get his pants off in 5
Oh,
seconds.
jeez.
Yeah, I'm that guy.
So the number one we talked about, like I said on the show, over and over, sick of talking about. Like we were getting over it. To be honest with you,
We did.
We were getting
predicted
over
this
it.
heel turn like for a year.
Oh, yeah.
And then
What?
like, no offense to Ray, but him and they were great. They won the tag titles, all that stuff. But
There it is.
Dominic, for him to stand out, to be on his own person.
Did you ever think he'd be this over?
No.
Nope.
And he was great on Raw again too.
Yep.
He's so fucking hated. It's amazing. He's going to be a superstar.
Owns it.
He's going to be a star.
Back to Edge.
Dude, did you see the sign on Raw?
Yeah.
Which one?
It said, Dom's obviously Eddie's kid. And that's all it said.
It did.
And that's all it said.
That's awesome.
It was right by the. I'm surprised they didn't get pulled.
I know.
Dude, my favorite thing watching Raw, I think it was Raw, when they were showing the recap of the NASCAR shit.
Oh, they got to fight NASCAR.
I grew up watching wrestling or watching NASCAR. My dad likes racing and NASCAR.
And they got into
stuff.
it in NASCAR.
And I see Michael Waltrip out there. I see Michael
Oh,
Waltrip
yeah.
getting
God,
involved.
yeah.
He's like getting in a fight with Judgment Day. I'm like, Michael.
Oh, dude, Dominic's
Settle
like
down.
this washed up old man. He said, who's calling old man?
Michael Waltrip's all
Funny.
pissed.
Dominic, you ready for Dominic versus Michael Waltrip at WrestleMania? Because I'm all for it.
I am
dude.
too.
Put that in perspective. Michael Waltrip had a feud with Dale Earnhardt back in the
Oh
day,
my
like a
God.
real feud racing. And Michael Waltrip, I believe, won the race that Dale Earnhardt died on or died at.
Yeah,
sad.
the Town of 500. He didn't win that
So
one.
that's, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
like, to see him now, how many years later, 22 years later, just get in the middle of a fucking Judgment Day fight. Like,
Right.
Priest is like, I'll break your legs.
What is happening?
Priest's a pretty intimidating looking fucking dude. He's just like,
Big
really?
He's like, really? You gonna do something?
Balor's like the little Wattweiler on your ankles. Like, dude, god damn it. Like, he's there. It's like, shut the fuck
But he
up.
never goes away. He
No.
shut
It's
up.
like, I think I'd rather fight Ray than Michael Waltrip.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, like I said, we talked about this many
It's a big
times, and it
moment.
definitely shut us up because we didn't talk about it no more after this. But
Nope. And we're probably
he
getting
turned
the-
on his dad, and look where he is
We'll
now.
probably get that inevitable, like Edge said on Raw. He's like, I can't wait till your dad snaps and kicks your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. It's going to happen.
He's like, it's gonna happen.
Look at
in
God.
about a month, you
Yeah.
know, there was something to build.
Look,
but,
yeah,
yeah.
it's crazy.
I can't-
It's crazy.
I kind of felt bad for Judgment Day on Monday because not saying like they did anything wrong, but like Edge, his promo abilities are so much better than those guys.
They are.
Like it's just he just owned him when it comes
He
to the
did.
mic skills. It's like you can. It was
Dude,
the
it
first
was-
time you could really see it.
Yeah, he was like, well, I wanted to elevate young talent. He's like, but I kind of did because they're
It's
all.
kind-
Hot. He
he's
said
like-
Rhea has never been hotter. He said Balor's on top of his game. Priest is a fucking.
Yeah.
He said he's a really underrated talent. He's like Dom. He's just there.
He's just there.
Dom's there too.
Yeah. I was like,
But yeah,
it was amazing. It was great.
Yeah.
Everything's like
It's clicking.
when every segment almost like
Right.
I can watch every segment in the show and not like
Be pissy about it.
yeah.
But
like,
look
I
at
didn't really
Dominic
have-
and Rhea, how great they are together. That tells you something right there. How great
Yeah, Buddy
Dominic's
Murphy
got.
or Buddy Matthews, what the fuck your name
Matthews,
is? Corey Matthews, Eric Matthews, George Feeney. Y'all better be careful because
When
Dom-
full means were.
Dom's
He's
already
got
been to
it.
the pin. You think he won't steal your chick? Shit. He already,
Yeah.
he already calls her mommy.
He does.
He,
He
said,
does.
I'll do to you what I did to people in jail. And Edge was like, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
What'd he say? You got bent over in
Something about-
prison or something?
something like
the
that.
crowd pop. He's like, what?
Balor's
Yeah.
eyes out. They all got.
I love it when they're like, let him talk.
It was a rape joke.
Yeah. it was. It was. And only Edge.
Edge,
yeah.
Edge is like the Judgment Day is my fault.
He's
They
like-
are. They are. But his promo was better. Like
That was a
it
huge,
was.
that was a big moment.
It shut us up. It was the shut up moment.
I
Like
did.
it
We're
finally
like,
happened.
oh, yeah, he finally turned. I mean, I still think our idea of happening on Father's Day would have been much,
yeah,
completely
exactly.
much better.
Completely agree.
Whatever.
But,
That was the, you know, if Triple
It
H's in
did.
charge, it might have been
It
on Father's
did.
Day.
Fact.
but at least it finally happened.
I don't know
And
if
it was
Vince has
good.
had to read a calendar. I just think he thinks days exist. Because like I was reading reports, he's ripping up scripts on like Thursdays. Like, bro, you
Yeah.
don't even have a show tonight. Like,
Stop.
stop.
Like, I'm pissed. And it'd be like 7
You mind?
p.m. on Monday night. Fuck this show. Like,
Fine.
bro, it starts in an hour.
I couldn't believe I remember
That's a solid top
1999.
five.
I can't believe I
It was
remember
good.
that. But like I said, the Stephanie.
Very good. Yep.
So I guess this one.
I loved your list. Especially that Stephanie one. That's going
That's
back.
just from when I started watching it. It was
Yep.
crazy.
I kind of picked and choose. Kind of use your guys's. So, Sami Zayn.
Obviously.
Sure.
I'm crediting this to recency bias because it just happened. And
Right.
It's
Yeah.
still hold up though.
That's why it's at 5.
In 10 years from now, it probably will still be talked about.
Yeah, I mean, it'll probably be higher depending where the story goes. It
Sure.
could rise. So, I mean, you guys covered that one. We just did that one. Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty.
Classic.
I mean, you have to. I just don't feel it. It has to be on the list because this kind of this is the ultimate turn right here.
No, I agree.
This is what kind of put it all into motion. I was 1 year old when this happened.
Yep, I agree. I was 4.
Yes, I do.
Yep. I mean, and I thought about this one too. Like, that's why with my list, I'm just gonna stick it with strictly the ones I remember watching when it went down because that made my feels go high.
That's why I like our list because we all approach them differently.
Right. Yep. But this is definitely, I mean, arguably one of the biggest turn moments in the company. You know, absolutely.
This is top 3 on like every site I was researching on.
I believe it.
It was at least top 10.
And like in poor Marty Jannetty, who sometimes replies to my comments on Facebook, he'll get really fucked up as Marty Jannetty does.
Oh, wait.
Comment a bunch of shit. People will comment. He'll comment back, and then he'll get banned for a month. And but that being said, it's been a while since I've seen him, so hopefully he's not dead. I don't know, but yeah, he's just. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't know him in real life, so I'm not going to like say bad things about him. But I feel like he may be just a fuck these days. But I don't know. I don't know him in real life. But definitely, this was a down point for his career because after this, he kind of stopped being a big deal. But it is what it is.
So I just lost internet again, so you're gonna have to do
no worries.
my 3.
I got you.
StreamYard told me to fuck off.
I'll try to produce. I'm not as good as you, but I'll give it a shot. And then your pictures are the brand.
Yep.
Do I go up or down here? Here's where I
right
get
there. Right there.
Austin. There we go.
Yep.
Oh, all right, cool. I got you. Is it not working?
So this is off Chuck's list. Austin turns heel against The Rock at WrestleMania 17. Chuck covered that backstory and everything. So, I mean, really no need to get into it. Big moment. You never thought Austin McMahon would be together in a ring shaking hand ever. That's not a memory as a wrestling fan in the 90s that I ever thought I would see. They hate the personal shit. Talk about personal. Like, the shit they put each other.
And to be on the same side is shocking.
There wasn't a chance that I'd ever see them
Actually,
united.
that picture is shocking. Him shaking his hand.
I think I'm back.
I look at that, I'm like, Stone Cold, what's wrong with you? Like, shaking his hand?
I am back.
I mean, seriously, that's the first time you ever see his eyes change. Like that picture alone, it finally did load to see Austin and Vince.
It's just it's still a weird picture.
It is a weird picture.
Because we never thought we were going to see that.
When Vince was on Austin's podcast, I thought it was weird.
I agree. Because,
weird.
I mean,
it's just one of those things. It's like if you saw real life Eric Matthews married to Topanga, like it'd be so weird. It'd be like, what the fuck?
Right.
Weird side story. I was watching YouTube the other day or yesterday for Dart League, and I just had it on show. I played Taylor Swift, then it starts playing shit that I've listened to recently, and this song called "Mind of a Stoner" comes on, and it's MGK and Wiz Khalifa, of course. And he walks out on the porch, and it's Topanga sitting on the porch.
That's weird.
And MGK's like, "Is that fucking Topanga?" Damn,
Topanga Lawrence.
But yeah. Anyway, so I thought it was funny because I just saw her in a music video.
That is weird.
That is funny.
I like that. I don't like
Now,
that at all.
here's one I was kind of surprised you guys didn't have, but I'm glad because I brought something new.
Oh yeah.
Daniel Bryan.
Oh, okay.
Triple H turning on Daniel Bryan.
Oh, SummerSlam.
In 2013.
SummerSlam
And he brought out
2013.
Randy Orton.
Okay.
Yep.
He pedigreed him. Then he brought out Orton. Orton cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase.
I remember
and
that.
Took and beat Daniel Bryan. And this started that whole fucking
Yes
movement.
Yes,
Yep.
movement.
This was a pretty big one.
If you remember on SmackDown
Triple
before
H.
this.
God damn it, Triple H.
Yep. I remember the SmackDown before this because Vince hated Daniel Bryan. And
Yes.
Triple H was like, I don't see what the big deal is. I like Daniel Bryan. And, like whatever. And then on SmackDown before SummerSlam, Triple H was a special guest referee. And Vince was on the stage. It was Triple H and Daniel Bryan both doing the yeses at
I
Vince.
remember that.
And then and that was on Friday night. And then on that fucking Sunday, Triple H turns on him. Big deal.
He did.
And that was right after Daniel Bryan beat John Cena, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He had the fucked up elbow.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's a big one.
That was a huge one.
That set off the whole Daniel Bryan momentum.
And Randy Orton became
Shit.
the undisputed champion.
Yeah.
He did.
And Triple H just did his typical chin around pedigree.
Yep.
Here comes Randy.
Triple
Fucked
H,
him up.
God damn it, you're like, there's 15 banners, okay? Because we have 5 each. 5 times 3 is 15. You were on like 11 of them.
I mean, he's
bro.
got to be,
like,
right?
God damn it. Like, come on.
It is.
He's like in most of them.
Hopefully, you're a nicer guy in Pearl Eye. Fuck.
But that was a big deal because that really started the Yes movement, which
It
led
did.
into arguably one of the biggest WrestleManias ever. WrestleMania 30 was huge.
Yep.
And the whole, that's why I feel like, obviously Daniel Bryan, he had that huge moment. It was supposed to be Batista, organically became Daniel Bryan. I feel like organically Sami Zayn is at that level.
Yeah,
right
we
now.
had Kofi,
He is,
now we
yeah.
got Sammy.
I mean,
So
that's what I
it's
think.
all
I
organic.
think it's unfortunate that Sami will not get that WrestleMania moment.
We'll see. I'm not losing out hope. if he stays as hot as he is, they can't not do it.
I would agree.
It's like even when you like Vince, I feel like Triple H is more level-headed than Vince is. Like he's not.
I agree.
Vince is more likely to go off on a fucking tangent than Triple H will. And Triple H will be. I bet he's more
well-rounded.
He's aware outside the WWE walls. Like he knows what we think. That's why we're getting what we want right now. It's funny. They used to tell us we're gonna give you what you want, and they never were. And now they are. Since they're actually in charge. We are.
I mean, it's definitely better.
But
I hope you're right. I mean, the thing is, it's a weird time because Cody's just as hot.
I know.
So it's just like, fuck.
But there's got to be, if you separate the belts.
That's the problem. If we had two belts.
No, there it is. There it is. There it fucking is. That's how you get the straps off of.
Why not? I agree.
No, this is it. I got it.
Let's hear
this is it. Sammy gets fucked at Chamber. Like Solo interferes. Somebody costs him the match and Roman wins.
Sure.
Adam Pearce is like, Roman, like, you didn't beat Sammy clean. That's not like whatever words you have to use to get it out.
Right.
He's like, you know what, Roman? He's like, well, I'm fighting Cody. It's a tough shit, Adam.
Too nice.
I'm so done. He's like, see, Roman, are you? Because you know what? Night one, you're defending your World Heavyweight Championship, your Raw Universal Heavyweight title against Sami Zayn. And on night two, then you'll have your match with Cody.
Yep.
Thank you. Goodbye. And
I like that.
And that's it. It's so simple.
you go.
He doesn't have to take a pinfall. He doesn't have to submit. He doesn't have to give up the belt because he
I agree.
beat up people on Monday Night Raw, which happens every week.
It does.
Bronson Reed just did that.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck?
But
anyway, that's how you easily do it. That's
I
how
like
you
it.
insert Sammy in.
He's like, dude, you know what? You got, the way I see it, you have two belts. WrestleMania is 2 nights.
You're gonna have two.
Well, then
You're
you
gonna
can
have two
do-
matches.
Yeah.
Night one, I take your belt. Night two, I fuck up your family because night two, KO and him can fight the
Yep.
Usos.
Mhm.
And then
Whatever. I agree with that.
I think Solo's
I hope so.
I think Solo's going to join Sammy.
I think so too. And we kept saying, we mentioned this a little bit earlier when Solo doesn't
He
talk.
doesn't talk ever. You
Granted,
never
he
know
don't.
what he's thinking.
He did take out Sammy when Reigns ordered him to
Yes.
He does.
at the Rumble, but he's still being the lackey. But he also still likes Sammy.
Yeah.
We have no idea what he's thinking. He's biding his time,
He is, yeah.
And
See, that's
Jay's
what I'm
gone
saying. There's underlying
Yeah.
storylines in the
all day.
we have all this shit we're focused on, but there's stuff under the radar that's still just as big.
Absolutely.
But then my number one, if you guys are probably could have guessed from earlier,
Yep.
like this is my generation's Austin's turning on Rock.
Absolutely.
It is.
It really is. I never thought. I thought that every stable comes to an end. I mean, Jericho's been in 14 in his 2 years of AEW.
Yeah.
Some
But-
and some don't.
So like,
He's expanding with
but
more.
like, I didn't see the Shield ending at this time.
I did.
I didn't either.
And all three guys became. I mean, I joke about him. I'm not a fan of the Moxley character. I did like Dean Ambrose.
I did too.
He was champion.
He was over.
Yeah.
He had a nice run. They gave him. He was the number one pick in the draft, which used
Big
to be a
deal.
huge
He had the
deal.
United States
He was the
title.
face of SmackDown. The United States title run was kind of bullshit. He didn't defend it ever.
He
They were
did.
always
Sure.
in tag matches.
But that was a Vince issue.
Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
a prop. So
Yeah.
like he had it for a year, but he defended it like 3 times.
Yeah.
And then one of the 3 times he defended it, he lost it again.
He did.
No,
So-
I agree. He was never
He-
defended.
This is a big
He never
moment.
did,
I'll
yeah.
It's the one that I'll remember.
Me too.
Like if I accidentally have a child someday, I'll be like, yeah, this is like
That's wrestling.
this guy Seth Rollins who's still main eventing WrestleMania
He still
58.
is.
Yeah, this much. Yeah,
It
Seth.
mattered because they had good matches at both. They had 2 matches at 2 pay-per-views in a row, and they were both phenomenal.
Like you said
Yeah.
about evolution, the key to having a group is you want every member of that group to come out of it
to be
better.
successful.
And he did.
Like Judgment Day, Balor will be fine. Priest,
Sure.
better. Dom, Jesus. Dom would be the biggest star in Judgment Day
He
outside
will.
of Rhea.
And
Yeah,
And I'm not even kidding. Like, he might be.
He
We
might
saw
be.
him live.
people
Well,
pop
yeah.
for him.
He got the
see.
biggest pop. So we've went to 2 events in the last 2 years. The Rumble, Rey Mysterio got the biggest pop. Monday Night Raw,
His
Dominic
son.
Dominic
Mysterio
got the
got the
biggest.
biggest pop.
Well,
And
Eddie
that's
Guerrero's son.
over.
Oh, yeah.
It's Eddie's son, obviously.
It's
That's that
Eddie's
sign.
son.
Dude, I popped for that sign.
That's
I froze it. I was like, oh my God.
That's just
But, I
fucking
should have
funny.
took a picture and put it in the group chat.
I mean, I think Eddie won the ladder match, didn't he? Probably not remember, but
But yeah, so that's my 5.
good. All good picks. We all had great picks. I mean, I like the old school, I like the new school.
I did
It was a
too.
very good mix of new and old.
Yeah.
We went all the way to 1991, and it's current as last month.
Oh
We
yeah,
did.
that's good. That's
Well,
good.
hell, 11 days ago.
And there's been so many different. There was hard to pick from because
It
there's
was.
a lot.
There's a lot.
Oh, dude, there's a ton of turns.
But the one,
like when Bliss turned on Nia Jax was kind of fucked
It
up.
was.
Like there's a couple when she turned on Bray at Mania.
Mhm.
yeah,
Like Bray's like, what? and she's on the tank, which was weird. I don't know, that was a whole weird.
It's
I
weird.
try to admit, I try not to remember, but like she did turn, you know.
She did.
That's why he's everybody's like, well, why is he fucking with her? Like the last time they interacted, she did fuck him and cost him out of his
She
match
did.
at Mania. So that's probably why he's going after her.
We just had a turn on NXT last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to. Yeah, it's happening everywhere.
It's happening.
Which I've kind of figured with Mandy getting
Makes
released.
sense.
Right.
There's
Probably-
that was
Well, they're both going to be really good.
They're going to be big
but
stars on their own. Like
They,
they are.
I mean, they had them on the main roster already. You know, as a tag team,
Yeah.
they fought. They played in the tournament.
They do.
They had a couple appearances. They're both going to be fine.
absolutely.
They're gonna
Darby
be fine.
Allin, dude, come on. How could you lose her?
We had Triple H turn on Kevin Nash. Remember that? That was a good time.
Oh, dude, honorable mentions. I said I.
Oh,
had a
nice.
couple.
Hell yeah.
All right, Rey Mysterio, Batista,
Big one. Remember that?
Ciampa Gargano at
Yeah,
2017
okay,
Chicago
okay. I remember
Takeover.
that.
They went to the stage. Johnny just won. Ciampa, boom, kick to the groin, pick up, powerbomb him off the stage to the table. The
Jeez.
crowd,
Lost it probably.
no fuck, not a word,
Oh, really?
Wow.
Oh, they're in shock.
not a word.
Nice.
One of the best heel turns that
Oh, yeah.
if I was doing best heel turns of the last 10 years, that's number 2 to Seth.
That's cool.
That's how good it was.
I believe it.
And like
I wasn't watching
you've
NXT
alluded
yet.
to
I don't
before,
know.
which is it's kind of cool to hear because it helps me when I tell other people like, yeah. They're like, you're retarded. It's like you can tell Shawn Triple H, they view Gargano and Ciampa as
themselves.
them.
They do.
And that's why they booked
Mhm.
like Triple H was a huge fan of both. Shawn booked it like
They do.
when Ciampa goes back to the main roster in about 4 months, give it 4 months because Ciampa will be back in a month and you have to give him time to whatever. You're gonna love DIY.
You will.
I
Is
believe
that,
it.
is
You
that's-
will love him.
so that was the original Gargano plan. So if it makes you feel any better, the shit he's in now, this was not planned.
That's good.
They didn't plan. I mean, Dexter Loomis and him, they will still be together because
Sure.
that's their like group.
I got you.
But yeah,
I kind of thought you were going to bring up
oh, I got more.
KO and Sami Zayn.
That is on this list.
Nice.
When he power bombed him on the side of
Yeah,
the ring.
that was on NXT.
Yep, NXT. That was one of the biggest turns on NXT.
And that was kind of a Shawn Michaels Triple H moment too, because they were best friends. Like no one,
Oh,
everybody knew they
God,
were best
oh,
friends.
no.
It wouldn't be a list without the greatest wrestler in the world.
Oh,
When
God.
Shane turned on Miz,
Yeah, he did.
He took all the credit.
and
was
then he
fucking
won
funny.
the he took him out. Then he replaced him in the world's greatest tournament and,
And
won.
And won the thing.
Look, there he is.
There's his trophy.
With the belt.
Yeah, he did.
But
I kind of wish he would have won the Royal Rumble last year.
The Rock turning on the people.
That was good. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
some funny segments.
Him
Yeah.
telling people, wow.
Back in 03-ish.
Daniel Bryan turning on AJ Styles.
I don't remember that.
I don't either.
All right, so after coming back from a supposed career-ending injury, Bryan got into feud with AJ Styles. The two faced off for AJ's title at the go-home show on SmackDown Live before Survivor Series. During the closing moments of the match, Bryan saw an opportunity when the ref got distracted and hit him with the low blow and smashed his face with the knee to the face.
Was that before, like right during
And it
his
kicked
like
off the new Daniel Bryan where he created
organic?
Yeah, and he had the
Oh.
belt that was made out of fucking
Okay, I remember.
copper
I
or
kind of
something.
remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
it's like his last real run.
Where
in
he
the
was
company.
saying those stupid
He low
words.
blowed him, then he
Yeah.
kicked him in the face, then he won.
Then he became douchey.
Yeah, then
He
he
kept
became
saying those
eco
stupid-
like everything he
remember
was
that.
promoting was good. So
Yeah.
recycle. We're like, fuck you
Yeah.
and recycling. It's like, what are you guys
That's like
doing?
his last big gimmick.
Yeah.
He's saying
Yeah.
that stupid word he used to say, fickle. He used to
Um,
say that
Yeah,
all the time.
fickle.
Fickle.
SummerSlam
You people are
2005.
fickle. That was so
When Carlito and Kurt Angle face off against Shawn and Hulk Hogan, Shawn turned on Hulk Hogan.
wow.
Yeah, that led to their SummerSlam match,
Yeah.
which is, if you haven't seen that match, it's amazing. Check it out. Shawn obviously wasn't a fan of losing to Hulk Hogan in 2005 and really exaggerates all of the moves to the point that it's fucking awesome to watch. Have you guys seen that match?
I haven't.
Oh my gosh. You see how like Shawn so for example, Hulk Hogan boots Shawn in the face, and instead of just going down, Shawn runs around the ring like a fucking chicken with head cut off
Oh, God.
and then falls down. He just exaggerates the fuck out of everything Hulk Hogan does
Oh, geez.
because it's Hulk Hogan in 2005. Fuck you. And Shawn wasn't a fan of losing. He might disagree with that, but that's what fucking happened. You can watch that match and you can tell. So obviously Hulk Hogan won, and it's such a funny match because Hulk Hogan looks confused throughout the
He always
match.
does, buddy.
He's like, "Why are you doing those things?"
He has his natural face. He always looks confused.
You're right, he does.
I think he still does.
Yeah, that's
That's
my
a good one.
honorable mentions.
That's good stuff.
Then next week,
Uh-oh.
bam,
Elimination
right
Chamber.
now, Zayn Roman, Theory, Rollins. I'm actually
Look
excited
at
for
look at
this one.
Seth.
Look at Seth
Look at
Dude.
Seth in his little face.
Montez Ford's gonna have a breakout moment.
He's
How many
going to.
frog splashes off the pod does he hit?
Dude, I still watching him on Raw this past
Mhm.
week, watching him jump over the from the ring to the outside over the turnbuckle. That's an amazing jump. Like, that's dangerous as fuck.
Yeah.
To be that confident to, like,
Yeah.
because if you fuck that up, you're smashing your face on a pole.
Right.
And he did it flawlessly. Like,
Yeah, remember
talented.
Cesaro did that and had to get the fucking mouth guard.
Yep.
Remember he
Yeah,
hit
I
that
do.
shit and it was like, oh fuck.
Maybe
But
we'll
yeah,
see. Maybe
Montez
we'll see
Ford.
They've all been
extension.
saying he's gonna be a guy, and you're right. This is they finally started doing the singles with him.
This is a fun match because there's like
Mhm.
Seth's. Obviously, I think if you could pick one person in this and you know they're not going to win, it's going to be Seth.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like Seth hasn't really fucked around with Gargano or Bronson
He
Reed
hasn't.
or Priest
Yeah,
or
Reed's in it.
Ford.
Holy shit.
It's only
He has had a
Theory.
feud with Theory, kind of. So like this is new interaction. This is Gargano's first like big match on the
Yeah,
main
it is.
roster. This is Ford's like potential breakout moment.
Mhm.
Bronson Reed's probably gonna throw some people through a fucking
Oh,
pot.
some glasses.
And
yeah.
Damian Priest's gonna have like this.
Maybe he throws someone off the
And
pot.
Austin Theory.
Maybe he throws someone off the
I
pot.
just don't think he leads with his title. In
I
this
don't
one.
think
if
he
he's gonna
is.
feud with John Cena,
They
they
don't
don't
need
need
him
that
for a
belt.
belt.
They could use that belt as something else.
How about that fucking?
What if you just give it to Priest?
There
I
you
don't
go.
see why
Get
not.
some money. Get some money. Get some gold in the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Like
They give him something to flaunt.
I
How,
like
how
it.
about that curb stomp on Monday night that he
that was
gave to
amazing.
Theory?
and he
fucking-
didn't even take his glasses off.
He just ate it.
It's like, dude, I was sitting there thinking, what a great day at work. You get to work and you're like, oh, I run out. I don't have to take any clothes off. I just run out, stomp him, and go to. Oh shit. Okay.
You can't be
Dress in that crazy
Yeah.
fucking outfit.
As
stomp
he
him.
always does.
And he even that was and like dude Austin just like if you like look at the still shot of that, you see his forehead on the ground.
Yeah.
The rest of the body is up in the
Yeah.
air. Like
Theory's very good at selling.
he
as
just
well.
ate it. Like he looked good.
Beth and Edge, Rhea,
Yep.
and Finn. We knew this was
We
coming.
knew it was coming.
Very
Pretty
like
good.
we alluded to earlier, very entertaining segment with all of them on Raw.
Very. Yep.
And then the women's elimination chamber, which will determine the number one contender for Bianca Belair's
Look
championship.
how scary
So
Nikki
it's
Cross.
returning Carmella, Nikki Cross,
Mhm.
Raquel Rodriguez, the new Asuka,
The new
Liv,
Asuka.
and
Natalia.
yeah,
Her hand was on our show once.
she
It
did.
was.
Just her hand.
And to be
Unofficial.
added, I think would be the Becky, Lita,
Yep.
potentially Trish versus Damage Control.
Yep.
That'd be a cute 6-woman tag,
Yeah.
that get the show off. I'd actually probably start the show with one of the chambers.
I would too.
I'd honestly start with the women's chamber
I do.
Why not?
or the
I do.
men's. It's
Okay.
one of them.
Fuck no. The men started off the Rumble. The women can start off the fucking chamber.
It's our turn to start.
That's right.
See, now we know the reason because that epic fucking ending.
You're right.
We thought it was The Rock, but it was just
It was just
getting our
beating the
hearts,
shit out of
getting our hearts ripped out of our body.
me.
Instead. Yeah, pretty promising.
Yeah.
I'll reach out to Jimmy Bebe from Wrestle Buddy when we get off the air. See if he wants to get in on prediction shows are fun.
Mhm.
They are.
But that next week we'll do our predictions.
Yep.
Week after Fallout. Week after video games, and we'll just get going from there.
I dig it.
Our road
And
to
don't
Mania.
forget Saturday. I have a banner for it. I think I lost it. There it is. Ball Talk Saturday, 4 p.m. Super Bowl is Sunday. Look, even people that don't like football watch the Super Bowl.
Everybody.
So it gets a fucking holiday. I'll never forget this quote from Concussion. If you've never seen Concussion, it's a great movie. Will Smith. It's really based off how the NFL fucked the
It's a
concussion
good
thing
movie.
up. Dude,
Got you.
it's a great
It's a good movie.
dude. Will Smith, fuck. It's a very
Very good movie.
you'll watch it like, oh, that guy's in it. Oh, this like there's so many big actors.
I
in
believe
it.
it.
So it's about how the NFL. So Will Smith plays a doctor who figured out what CTE was, which was like he had to dig into take out parts of the brain and dig into
I've heard
them.
of this.
And then
It's
he
a good
found it and
movie.
he told the NFL, like, hey, we want to work with you. My wife loves football.
Right.
Like she's a huge Raiders fan, blah, blah, blah.
Let's
Like
keep
we
them
want
safe.
to work with you and let's get these guys safe. Roger Goodell's like, fuck you.
Of
Sounds
course.
right.
That
And he's
sounds
like, we're the
right.
NFL. And then his lawyer tells him, he goes, dude, are you sure you want to go after these people? And he's like, yeah. Like Will Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, Will Smith's character, he's a doctor. And he doesn't understand why everybody hates him. He's
I might
just
wanna
doing
watch that.
he's
I might
just
watch
doing
that.
his job. Like he's just doing his job.
Right.
Like he's just fucking
Yep.
trying to help people. And
Sure.
like he's from a different country. So like he's not really familiar with American.
Right.
He's just doing his job.
Mhm.
Dude, you'll love it. It's a
bet.
very good
You'll
movie.
like it. It's
But
good.
But there's a point in the movie where he's like, are you sure? And he's like, NFL, like, what's the big deal? He goes, Sundays used to
Money.
be Sundays belong to God. The NFL took it from God. The NFL owns it the day of the week that used to be owned by the church.
Yeah, they do.
That's true.
They own whatever they want to own.
Yeah.
Be careful. And that's what they tell them. That's what
Nice.
so that's Super Bowl. They literally did take a day of the week, and it's theirs. On Sundays, we watch football.
Sure.
Yvonne wears a shirt that says it on there. On Sundays, we watch football. Millions of other people wear
We
it.
do.
I watch football every Sunday. When my grandma passed away, I used to go to church with her all the time, but
You
like I
did.
made sure we'd leave at
Mhm.
1. She
Yeah.
passed away. I was like, okay,
Don't need to
it,
worry about
it sucks too much to go to church without her, so I can't.
Right.
So I was like, Sundays are football again.
That's football.
It's like Super Bowl, gambling's legal in Ohio. Congratulations to the state of Ohio for crashing FanDuel the other night. There was too much activity in Ohio and it crashed for
Wow.
15 minutes.
That's
And
right.
dude, FanDuel in Ohio was trending on Twitter for an hour. As soon as it went down, everybody
Jeez.
started freaking out in Ohio,
That's
which
funny.
proves that we cannot handle gambling here.
No.
It sounds like
But,
it.
Ohio, I feel like it's full of addictions.
But anyway,
So-
whether you're addicted or not, tune in Saturday. Me and my buddy Chase.
Something's
It's going
like
to be
a
our
problem.
first episode. Chase's first ever pod that
That's
I'm
cool.
aware of.
Has you ever been on a podcast?
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
It's fun.
Football, Super Bowl props, bets, our picks. Spoiler, I'm picking either the Chiefs or the Eagles, so we'll see which one. We'll tell you what bets we're making. We'll make bets on air. I'm going to actually make my Super Bowl bet on the air as we do it, with hopefully interaction, because I want to see what you guys are betting on. But
I like it.
Saturday, 4:00, get your parlays ready. It's so fucking weird. It's been such a weird year.
It is.
Or like we can
Yeah.
gamble.
Yeah.
We've already went to wrestling. We've
Some
had like
month and a
8
half
heel
in.
turns.
Yeah.
It's been eventful.
I've watched NXT.
Yeah, Ben's already watched more NXT than he did in 2022. So it should be fun. So check it out.
Yep.
Fans of RSH, check out if you like sports. Check it out. It should be cool. See me try to not murder Chase live on the air, and I mean that. We almost got into a fight at the flea market the other day. So,
That's awesome.
that Patriot shirt looks fucking. It's like, dude, shut up. So
Yeah,
yeah, it
you're
should be fun.
Patriots, yeah.
It's a big weekend. It's Super Bowl, so it should be a. I eat tons of food. Like he's having a thing, so I'm like, "What are you buying to eat?" He's like, "Wings." Like, I'll be there. Like
My buddy.
my team ain't in it, so I'm all in it for the
That's
food.
what I
I'm
mean,
all in
like,
it for
I
the
don't-
food and I hope it's a good game.
Yep.
That's
Dude,
all
my
that
buddy
matters.
has a party every year at his house. For whatever reason, he rented out a fucking bar this year. So like we're all gonna go to this bar that he rented out. That we're just gonna fucking hang out, bring your own food, whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking party at this bar. So I'll be there. not giving a fuck about the game.
Have a good time.
I'll be watching my parlays and playing. Oh, Super Bowl bingo. I already told Chuck about it. For you people want to win free money, there's not a lot of people that's going to be following that, I don't think. But we'll tell you Saturday. There's a lot of opportunities to win money on Super Bowl. You can bet on
Oh, I believe
everything.
everything. Yeah.
They just boosted that both running backs get 10 yards in the first quarter. It pays out like plus 150. So if you put
Jeez.
$10 down, you make like 80.
in.
Like, and that's just 10 yards each running back.
I'm all in.
Like,
Like shit like that.
it's
gets
pretty
you.
basic. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you would think first play of the game, you hand the ball off typically, right? But
Yep. Absolutely.
anyway,
I'm
that'll
in.
be fun. It's my next venture. I'm going back to the sports world
I like
for a
it.
little bit.
I like it. I like it. Well, hell yeah. So be sure to watch that at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard
Yeah.
Time, right here in
We're
all
on
of the.
all social.
Yep.
I don't have them on this one.
But you also
I
should
think-
share it on RSH because that has some followers. A couple.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Ball talk. Fuck. I've done this for 3 years now.
Right.
So you can follow
That's
us
how
at
I
all
feel.
of these socials. So we're at Ball Talk TV 69. Of course, it's mine. And then Facebook at Ball Talk, and then at Ball Talk on YouTube. There's nothing there yet, but there will be.
There will be.
So and Chase is going to clip every fucking thing because he said he knows how to do it and he loves it. So you're gonna see clips of us everywhere.
Oh yeah, that's how it's
Yeah.
done.
So yeah,
That's how it's done, man.
yeah. Draft notes, Super Bowl predictions, best Super Bowl bets. Is Lamar Jackson going to be playing against your Bengals as a Raven next year?
I hope he doesn't play at all next year. Fuck
Is
him.
Aaron Rodgers going to quit being a crybaby bitch and
He
finally
probably-
get traded?
he should
So
probably
he wants
be
to go
in-
to Vegas really bad.
He should probably be in prison from the way it sounds.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
There's an interview I want to send to you. I want you to watch with him. It's
Okay.
4 minutes long,
Nice.
and it makes him so miserable that you'll love it.
Awesome.
And he actually brings it up. He said, "Have you been kissing the commissioner's ass?" He's like, "Excuse me." He said, "Then why?" He said, "If not," he said, "If you're not, then why aren't you in prison?" He's like, "What should I be in prison for?" He goes, "What you did last year? You lied." And he's like, "No, I didn't." He's like, "Yeah, you did." Dude, it's funny.
It's getting called out.
Oh,
And
yeah,
you're-
yeah.
and you're lying
I'll
in
send
it.
you the link after the
And you're
show.
lying in this
But yeah,
conversation.
check us out.
I love it.
You'll find Ball Talk where you find all of RSH. Chuck's gonna help me out with getting the audio stuff up and going.
We'll get you on the
So
audio.
we'll get going. Check it out. That's all I got.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Hope you enjoyed the show. And if you didn't, fuck you. That's a good show. Actually, a little bit longer for having just
was,
a
Yeah, but,
three
yeah.
weeks.
but the heel turn thing was big. This
Big,
It's fun.
big.
right now, Zayn and the Marty Jannetty 2.0 last night and all this shit going on.
Good shit.
Not a lot of faithful people out here in 2023.
Bunch of heel turning motherfuckers.
They are.
But hope you all enjoyed the show. Again, if you didn't, that's on you. But seriously, be sure to follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, that's all I got. Facebook and Twitter.
Facebook, Twitter. And you can listen to us on every imaginable.
Tell your friends, tell your family.
Oh, so funny. On PS5, you can listen to Spotify as you play the game. So I just turned
That's
all my
cool.
music. I can do Apple Music as well.
That's cool.
So like all my music synced to it.
That's cool.
So I was listening to us as I was playing Madden the other day.
That's
Because
awesome.
I was listening to Bill Simmons and it switched to like my other ones and it switched to our last episode.
No, nice.
And then I listened to it and then I felt even worse for making fun of the Bengals because you started screaming at me.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn it, I hit a nerve with him. It's been a long time. Like he yelled. I was like, shit. I listened. That's when I texted you. I was like, dude, my bad. That was a fucked up shot. I didn't plan it. I didn't
You
plan
hit
on
a
talking
nerve
about
on
it.
Chuck.
It's
But
organic.
I listened to so it's pretty cool. So like we're everywhere. You can find us on PS5.
Hell yeah.
But anyway,
That's what's up, man. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed it. So seriously, follow us, tell your friends, tell your wives, tell your family,
tell your wife.
and interact with us. You can talk shit to me on Twitter. I'll see it in like 3 weeks. And
Check out Yvonne's video.
Yeah.
yes,
Let's not forget that. She
Yvonne
put out
has
a really cool video Saturday.
So this past Saturday.
Go ahead,
yeah.
you tell them. It's your
Yep,
show.
it's on my top 10 women's matches in WWE history. My next two, one will be released. I don't know which one they're going to do this Saturday and the next, but the next 2 Saturdays was going to be more on Wrestle Buddy. Follow me on
Yeah,
Twitter.
this
You can
Saturday,
see-
right?
Yep, next 2 Saturdays.
she's
It hit.
pumping them out.
Go to
Thanks to
Wrestle
everybody.
Buddy.
It made it to 11,000 views, everything. Thanks to everybody retweeting it.
She's gonna get famous before anybody else in this fucking room.
I'm trying.
It's just because she's
I'm
blonde.
trying. I'm not done.
Hey, it's the first time being blonde has worked in your
Yeah, right.
And also, you
worked in
should
your favor.
shout this guy out too. Check us out on the Pal Network.
Yeah.
I never forget.
SJP World Media.
Yeah, it's that. I have the thing that's on before the show. They'll hear it, but I never actually say it out loud. So the SJP World Media. Check all that. All kinds of podcasts. That's enough of this shit. Hope you enjoyed the show and continue to fear Jesus Christ. Continue to fear regularly scheduled